Good afternoon, everybody. This is Chief Meteorologist Jordan Abrams, keeping you guys updated. I'm in the studio with weekend meteorologist Tatiana Washington, keeping you guys updated on these ongoing storms. So there are some storms ahead of the line, and that's the main thing we're watching for. I know the Storm Prediction Center did mention that these storms will continue to strengthen as we get some daytime heating. So we're watching for the potential of maybe some winds up to 60 miles per hour and also the potential of maybe a spin-up tornado. But I'm going to show you what's going on across areas of the Wiregrass. You see, the main line of storms are actually near Andalusia, but we have a few cells that are right ahead of the line. One thing that we watch for is these little notches you can tell between Elba and Op is some of the things that we look for. Now, currently, really not a lot going on at the moment, but what I'm going to do is first I'm going to get my hand tracker together. We have a lot going on across the region. One thing I do want to mention is that we're under a tornado watch. What I'm going to do is I'm going to zoom out and show you guys. All of the Wiregrass is currently under a tornado watch, and this goes until 6 p.m. Central. But what I wanted to show you guys is we watch for little notches because we do have these storms beginning to develop. And you see little notches right here and right here. Those could be maybe signs of rotation. We're looking at right now, not a lot of shear as of right now. And we look at velocity. Currently nothing going on. Typically we look for the reds and the greens touching. Not currently seeing that at the moment, but something that we need to look out for over the next few hours as these storms continue to make their way through. Now, this is a great time to ask questions. What I'm going to do is, one, I'm going to show you. I'm actually going to turn this watch off. It doesn't mean that the watch is over, but the reason I'm turning a lot of this off is because take a look at all the advisories that we have in place. We have a lot going on with this dynamic and powerful storm system, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to basically turn this winter stuff off and also at least our tornado watch off. Doesn't mean that we're not seeing it, but just to give you a better depiction of the radar and also just to show you guys what is currently going on across the region. So if you have any questions, please let us know at any time so we can answer them. This is a great time to answer it, for us to answer any questions. So if you have any questions, we can answer that. But as of right now, I want to give you guys pretty much an overall synopsis of what's going on. So further out to our west, we do have these storms beginning to develop. There's a special weather statement for areas of Andalusia. So our friends in Covington County, the main threat that you have is the possibility of maybe 50-mile-per-hour winds and maybe the potential of a spin-up tornado. Not right now, but at least for this special weather statement, mainly 50-mile-per-hour wind gusts. As you go further out to your east near Elba and Enterprise, no special weather statement or severe thunderstorm warning. But again, we have to watch to see if these areas along the line could rotate, and also some storms along Sampson and Geneva, because what these storms like to do sometimes is merge, and as these storms merge, sometimes that can cause a little bit of extra rotation in the atmosphere. So our main timing is between now, and I think this will be out of our area around 3 to 4 p.m. as it exits Early County. But another thing I want to show you is our risk of severe weather. The Storm Prediction Center has us under a level 2 risk of severe weather pretty much anywhere along this line further out to the east, and this includes all of our Wiregrass counties. And this includes Dothan, Abbeville, Blakely, and further out to the west. Now here's the good news. Once this line finally passes us, this is when things will come to an end. After this main line passes areas of the Wiregrass, our threat is pretty much over. So if you're in areas pretty much west of Andalusia, near Bruton, near Monroeville, you're in the clear. You're just going to see a steady rain. Areas near Elba and Enterprise, you're not out of the woods yet because this main line still hasn't passed you, but we're also looking for areas near Dothan, Ozark, Geneva, Slocum. So this is what we're watching over the next couple of hours across areas of the Wiregrass. Like I said, please, if you have any questions, please feel free to ask because we can answer them right now because we don't have too much going on at the moment. I'm not seeing anything, but we're going to continue to let this radar at least run for right now. But a few things is if you're in areas near Ozark and Dothan, there's really nothing to worry about at this moment. But we are getting some new information from the Storm Prediction Center. I'm actually going to look at that right now. And we could get at least some new information of what's going on. So the environment is pretty at least primed for some severe weather. It's not a guarantee that we're necessarily going to see a tornado or some damaging winds, but the atmosphere is definitely showing it. What I'm going to do is I'm actually going to show you how the temperatures have risen dramatically across the Wiregrass. I'm going to show you our high-res temps. Currently in Dothan, at least according to our Barron model, we're sitting at 73 degrees. I'm going to show you guys what we were sitting at about 3 hours ago. 3 hours ago, we were at 58 degrees. So at 58 degrees, and temperatures have risen a good 15 degrees, which means that we're in the warm sector and that gives us a little bit more instability for these storms to form. So there's some fuel in the atmosphere, and we're going to continue to get more and more information. So I'm going to click on this mesoscale discussion. Is going to tell us a little bit more information of what's going on across areas of the Wiregrass. So they're saying that a lot of storms have been quickly moving east, and it's sweeping through southeast Alabama and western Florida. And we could see maybe some of these storms begin to merge. And if they do, we could see the potential of maybe some severe threat to become a little bit more elevated, at least at the moment. So we're going to continue to watch that. We're not seeing any questions, but if we have any questions, I'm looking at people are asking about Cottonwood, then people are asking about Dothan. So Cottonwood and Dothan, if you're in areas of Houston County, like I said, these storms are moving fast. We have two lines. I'm going to step back on the green screen, and I'm going to kind of draw out what's going on. So we have two lines of storms ongoing right now. We have some storms developing ahead of the line in this area, right over here, but the main line is a little bit behind us near Andalusia. So in this particular area, right over here, I'm going to exit out of this is where we're seeing the main line of storms. And these storms are moving pretty fast, but I would say in the next probably hour or so, we can see these storms make its way into areas of Houston County. Now, maybe in the panhandle of Houston County a little bit sooner, but we're watching to see if these cells merge, and that can cause maybe a severe weather threat for areas at least further out and east of the Wiregrass. So if you're in areas near Elba and you're in Dale County and also Geneva County, things are going to start right now, but things won't be over until this main line pushes through. Again, no warnings at the moment, but watching for any rotation along this line or just ahead of this line for potential at least spin up tornadoes. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to answer some questions. I'm actually going to look at a little bit more information as well. And Tatiana, you can take over just for a little bit and just tell us what's going on and also just the threats that we could see and the timeline.
Okay. Trying to make sure my mic is on.
And if you have any questions, please feel free to let us know at the moment.
Okay, well, kind of just like what Jordan said, we're looking at these storms. We do see a few storms in front of this main line as well, and we could see up to 50 to even 60 miles per hour winds. At least near Andalusia, they're seeing some strong storms and even some portions in Geneva as well. So we're keeping track of these storms, keeping an eye on them as well. Like Jordan said, these storms are moving very, very quickly as well. We could, in the next hour, at least see some of these effects here in the Houston County as well. So we're not really seeing a whole lot right now, but pretty soon we could see some of these storms entering our area, at least near Andalusia. They're seeing a special weather statement. So like I said, these damaging winds could be possible. And we're really hoping that we're not seeing any threats for tornadoes, but it is possible as well. So seeing some of these storms that could merge together is very possible as we head into the next few hours. We're just keeping track of that as well and keep you guys updated. So if you do have any questions, make sure you're asking those questions on our Facebook Live as well, and we definitely could answer those.
Now I do have a question that I just got into Facebook. They're asking about Wicksburg, and when it comes to Wicksburg, Alabama, things aren't going to be as bad. I'm actually going to zoom in. This is Wicksburg, right outside of Houston County. But regarding Wicksburg, it's not going to be not necessarily bad. All of us are under a level 2 risk. So what I try to tell people, Tatiana, and you can let me know if you agree with this, is that just be weather aware. We're not under a warning, we're under a watch, which means that you just need to be watching. Now, if we get into a warning, that's when you go into your safe space, which is your most interior room, or if you have a basement, then a basement.
Yeah, so I think it's very important that we are staying weather aware. Of course, we're not really, can't pinpoint anything right now as well, but we are under that level 2 slight risk, and this is where we have the potential of seeing some severe weather, but we're definitely keeping track of everything if we are seeing anything increase when it comes to that severe weather.
Yeah, and I totally agree with you. Like I said, we're not seeing any warnings at the moment, But the main thing we're watching for is if we see any rotation. Really not seeing that at the moment. Not seeing any super strong lines of storms. I think the strongest lines of storms are kind of near the Andalusia and Op area, where they're seeing wind gusts maybe up to 50 to 60 miles per hour. But again, if you're in areas near Vicksburg and everything right now, you're safe. But at the same time, we do have to watch for this potential of storms, particularly anywhere, pretty much if you're Enterprise, further out all the way into Blakely, as we're going to see storms move in at least this general direction. You can kind of see it right here. And as these storms continue to move in our direction, if you're under a tornado warning, remember, get in your safe space. And I can actually show you guys, if I'm not mistaken, tornado safe.
Step off the screen.
Yeah, you can step off the screen. Right over there. And go to interior rooms, such as a hallway, closet, or bathroom. And that is where you need to be. Now, I'm getting questions about mobile homes. If you are in a mobile home, if you can at this moment, especially if you're in Houston County or Henry County, if you have a friend or a family member who you can maybe stay by, just in case you're under a tornado warning, that would be the smartest decision. Because one thing I am noticing is over the last 15 minutes is that this line is beginning to merge together. And we're starting to see lightning pick up a little bit within the region, which means that these storms are getting a little bit stronger. One area that I'm looking at in particular is this area just to the south of Elba. Again, not necessarily a guarantee, but I like to just kind of look at certain things to see what we're seeing. I'm going to pause it right over here. We're going to see this particular cell. I'm going to step on the green screen for a second, and we're going to see this line of storms that's a little bit ahead. And the main thing we're looking for is we see this line right here, but also there's a strengthening storm right near Elba, but also I see this little tail right here. Again, not necessarily a guarantee, but sometimes you look at that for potential rotation. And we're not seeing anything at this moment, at least on storm relative velocity and velocity, but something that I might be watching a little bit down the line. Seeing a little bit of shear right here, but that's some small things that we tend to look at just in case as these cells kind of begin to merge. This is what we call a QLCS. So you have a line of storms kind of merging with some more storms kind of ahead of that line. And sometimes when these merge, you can get some tornado warnings as this line continues to move through. So I'm watching this storm near Elba. At least as of right now, we're going to continue to see these next few radar scans as these cells begin to merge and move in this general direction into areas of Dale County. Everywhere else, we're still watching, but at least at the moment, this is what I'm looking at. We also see at least some indications of strengthening. You kind of see that purple, and also you see that downdraft further down here. So again, not necessarily a guarantee, but we're watching a few storms that looks like they're trying to get their act together as it moves into a more favorable environment. Again, no warnings at the moment, just that tornado watch. And that's the main thing we're watching for. Now I'm seeing people ask in what's going on in Dothan. If you're out and about in Dothan, I recommend you probably get in the house within the next 30 minutes because those storms, this line is moving quite fast. I'm actually going to show you kind of a timeline of how fast this storm is moving over the last hour. And an hour ago at 11:43, the line of storms the main line was in Bruton, Alabama. Now the main line has made its way almost clear of Covington County. And again, we're watching for a few areas of rotation potentially where you see like these small little notches of inflow. So still watching those. Still not seeing at least any impressive shear and any velocity values, but something to look out for as these storms, what we call are semi-discrete. And also looking in areas near Andalusia, near Lockhart. We're going to switch to Panama City's radar, see if we can get a closer look, and also see what's going on over there. The shear, at least some decent shear in southern areas of Covington County, most likely along the line of the storms. And if they have a few notches, that's something that we need to look out for as well. Again, nothing, maybe some broad rotation right over here, right here between Lockhart and north of Laurel Hill. But again, we're going to continue to just watch for little areas of rotation like that. And if we have anything in another area I'm watching, actually, if I move further down to your south, is to area north of Crestview. So we're starting to see at least some organization with some of these cells across areas of Alabama. Again, so some broad rotation potentially in areas near Covington County, maybe also near Op. And then again, this might be a little bit too far from the radar because our radar site in Panama City is a little bit further down over here. and maybe some broad rotation in areas of near Elba, and that's what we're looking at. But let's see if that matches with Dothan's radar to see if that's beginning to pick up at least just a little bit. So some small areas of shear. So again, nothing that's super indicative of anything major, but just showing that those storms are starting to become a little bit more organized over the last couple of radar scans. I hear that it's muggy in Abbeville, and yes, it is very, very muggy in Abbeville. That's because those temperatures have warmed up tremendously. One thing that we're looking at also is the National Weather Service. They also mentioned watching at least this area in Coffee County of maybe some rotation further up to the north. But yes, we're seeing a warm front lifted up, and we were in the 50s early this morning. And after that warm front lifted up, we are now seeing at least those temperatures in the 70s. So it's very, very, very muggy outside. It's very, very hot outside. Matter of fact, when I walked in the station, it was about 58 degrees. Now it is currently 70 degrees. So I was in the station around 10 a.m. and in a span of 2.5 hours, those temperatures have risen a good 12 to 15 degrees. But we are seeing at least some of these storms get their act together. Again, watching at least areas near Lockhart and Andalusia, also near Crestview. If you go near Dothan, again, still relatively dry, but I say you have a good 30 minutes to maybe an hour at most before you need to be inside, because these storms are not slowing down for anybody. And another thing is, I want to mention, there's going to be a huge cool down after this. Lows are going to be in the 20s, so it's going to be a very, very chilly night across areas of the tri-state region. If I'm not mistaken, Tatiana, lows around 29 degrees. Is that right?
Yes.
So lows around 29 degrees, and highs tomorrow are expected to be in the 40s. One thing, weekend meteorologist Tatiana Washington, she's going to be here at 5:30 and 10, giving you all the updates on what's going on across the Wiregrass and any after effects that we're seeing, like if we have any rain or if we have any other rotation or anything like that, and also any other updates that we get over the next couple of hours. So right now, nothing to worry about. We're still seeing if there's anything new. We're not seeing any new questions at the moment, but we're going to continue to watch the radar. Like I said, I'm getting questions about if you live in a mobile home. If you live in a mobile home, I do think it is wise, at least until about 5 p.m. or at least until the front clears, you get to the all clear for me, is that you just stay there. Don't stay in your mobile home. Stay somewhere where you have a brick and mortar house or a solid foundation so you guys can stay safe. And if nothing happens in that span of 4 to 5 hours, I'd rather have you guys be safe than sorry. But again, we do have at least some storms beginning to strengthen in areas of Coffee County near Elba, and also some storms along Covington County. We're going to see if Tallahassee issues some type of special weather statement or severe thunderstorm warning. Another thing we have to check for, because our only threat isn't necessarily tornadoes, it's also winds up to 50 to 60 miles per hour. So let's check those wind samples. We're seeing winds along Elba close to 50 to 60. Some areas are more like on the 40 range, but 40 to 50. And again, these are elevated from the ground, so it's not an exact measurement. So we're probably seeing 40 to 50 mile per hour winds just outside in areas of Coffee County. And if you can relay that to me and let me know how things are in Coffee County, that will be absolutely great. We have some more cells beginning to pop up near Enterprise that will probably merge with the line. That could cause maybe a little bit more rotation as well. So currently, just giving another synopsis across the Wiregrass, if you're in areas of Henry County, Houston County, Early County, things are perfectly fine as of right now, but still watching. We're still under that level 2 risk of severe weather. We currently don't have any warnings at the moment, but that could definitely change as we're seeing those high temperatures, at least temperatures peaking right now around 70 degrees across areas of the Wiregrass. I'm going to turn on our high res temperatures, and it's going to show you that areas near Dothan, if you're pretty much anywhere in the Wiregrass, if you're in Geneva County, you're sitting at 73. If you're in Dothan, you're sitting at 73. Blakely, you're still in the 60s. Ozark, 60s. Only place across the Wiregrass, if you're in the all clear, now you're seeing temperatures drop down. And take a look at Mobile, 52. So this is a fairly strong cold front. You're going to see those temperatures drop very dramatically. And that's the next story, because I'm going to show you something very interesting. Monroeville is sitting at 52. Andalusia is sitting at 65. So a 13-degree temperature difference in just 1 to 2 counties. And then after that, if you go further out to your west, Meridian is sitting at 30, in the 30s right now. Meridian is sitting at 39 degrees. So Very, very cold air is behind us. You see a lot of ice. We avoided the ice storm. We ended up on the warm sector, which means we're on the warm front side. And unfortunately, with the warm front, we could see the potential of severe weather here and there. But storms are making its way closer in the areas of the Wiregrass, especially if you're in Coffee County. If you're in Coffee County and also if you're in Geneva County, storms making its way closer. So we're going to continue to watch out on the radar. If anything new happens, if we have any new questions, we're going to answer, but we're going to mute ourselves, at least as of right now. We're going to be on there. We're not going anywhere, but we're going to cut in as needed. So I want you guys to stay safe and stay weather aware. If you have any questions, please let me or Tatiana know, and we will be happy to answer them. But again, these storms are finally making its way through, watching for little areas of rotation, especially in areas of Coffee County. At least as of right now, this is where I see at least the highest potential at this moment, with some light pockets, some moderate pockets of shear here and there. And then after that, pretty much it's going to make its way into areas of the Wiregrass within the next hour or two. And then early county, probably around 2:30, excuse me, Eastern time, going into the 3 o'clock time frame. And it should exit our area around 5 p.m. Eastern for our friends in early county. So I want you guys to stay safe and stay weather aware. We're not going anywhere, but if you have any questions, I'll be happy to answer them. And also, we'll cut in for any further updates. So we did get a few more questions, and I am willing to answer some questions. So over the next, people are asking about Covington County and also areas near, and if you live in a mobile home. If you live in a mobile home, I do recommend, I highly recommend you find somewhere else to stay at least for the next couple of hours. That is not a mobile home, maybe somebody's house or anything. I think that is a whole lot better. And people are asking, how high will the wind gusts get? Well, wind gusts are probably going to be up to 60 miles per hour if you're under a severe thunderstorm warning. Worst case scenario, 65, but overall, I do think that as of right now, we're not seeing any severe thunderstorm warnings, which means that winds are currently remaining under 65 miles per hour. Now we're still watching some of these other cells right over here. Another one has popped up near Enterprise that is going to merge with this main line. Also maybe a little notch right here. So watching for small little areas of rotation. And let's check our shear values. We're looking, again, no major shear values at the moment, which is absolutely great. You don't want anything with any high shear values because that is indicative of maybe some rotation. Maybe seeing some moderate shear values in areas near Elba. Along that line, looks like something is picked up just a little bit near Ayrton. So that's something that we're watching. I see a small little hook near Rocky Head. We're going to check our storm relative velocity, maybe some broad rotation. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to check in with the National Weather Service, particularly in this area. If you're in Ayrton, I want you to make sure that you're watching out because it does seem like we're at least seeing some broad rotation in this particular cell right over here. So maybe the potential of a brief spin up. What I'm going to do is I'm going to ask the National Weather Service what they think about that with the broad rotation in Elba, because that's something that I'm personally seeing right near Ayrton. So if you're in Ayrton, I want you to watch this very closely just in case, because we're starting to see rotation pick up in that particular area near Dale County. And if we get any information, we're going to keep you guys updated. But that's something that I'm watching very closely. What I'm going to do is I'm going to switch over to velocity and show you guys what I'm seeing. So storm relative velocity shows some broad rotation. You see the reds and the greens touching, not necessarily super tight rotation, but also the shear values are at least decently strong. So that's something that we're looking at least at this moment. You see at least some inflow and also maybe some other pockets of inflow further down near Elba and New Brockton. We're kind of looking at that as well. Shear value is a little bit more weak, but looking at Ayrton at the moment, that is our particular area of concern, at least at this moment. So it's not translating to the low levels, which is good. But we're still looking at it because it is rotating. So that's something that we're looking at least at the moment. But if it continues to rotate and it rotates down, then that's something that we're looking out for. Again, nothing at the moment, but at least something that we're looking at because there is some fairly broad rotation. And it looks like it weakened just a little bit, which is good news. I'm going to switch to the time frame over the last 15 minutes. It strengthened, then it weakened. But we're also going to look at our velocity, and it's still relatively broad. So that's something that we're going to look out for. No debris signature, which is absolutely great. But this is the stuff that we need to look out for. There's small little areas of rotation that can cause maybe a brief spin up. So the line is going to continue to move through. Now, after this line clears, this main line clears, if you're near Andalusia, you don't have to worry about any severe weather anymore. If you're in areas of red level, River Falls, you don't have to worry about any severe weather anymore. But if you're anywhere within the line, and I'm actually going to draw this out. I'm going to step back on the screen. If you're anywhere near the line, then you're going to have to, you're going to be at least under that threat level until it clears your area. I'm actually going to get hand tracker back on and show you guys what we're currently looking at, because that's the only area that we're currently looking at least at this moment, for any potential severe weather threat. But it does look like we're seeing some rotation in this particular area, and we're going to look right back and see. And if you can hear me upstairs, it looks like we're having trouble with links 2. Can we switch over to links 1 for a moment, if you guys can hear me? And that will be perfect. And if we can switch over to links 1, I can show you guys what's going on. It's the same exact radar, but it has these banners, so I can show you guys a little bit of everything of what's going on and what we're currently seeing at the moment. But Dothan, we're looking fairly good. Again, if you're in this area along the line and ahead of the line, that's where our severe weather threat is. If you're anywhere behind the line, your severe weather threat is relatively over. So we're still under that tornado watch, but if you're in Andalusia, like I said, you're in the all clear. Looks like they just issued a new severe thunderstorm warning, and it has a tornado possible tag for Coffee and also Coffee, Dale, and Henry County. So we do have a new severe thunderstorm warning. I'm gonna turn this tornado watch off so you guys can see it just a little bit clearer. What we're gonna do is we're gonna turn this watch off, and you do see that we're under that severe thunderstorm warning, but it does have a tornado possible tag. And so that's something that we have to watch out for. It doesn't necessarily mean the tornado is there, but rotation is there where a tornado could potentially form, at least if all the ingredients line up. So that's what we're watching for right now. You remember, if you're in Ozark, you're in Abbeville, you do have that storm moving your way. It is currently moving at around, I'm gonna get more information. It's currently moving to the east-northeast at 55 miles per hour. So Abbeville, Ozark, Fort Rucker, Ayrton, Shorterville, Dill, near Beckham's Crossroads, Double Bridge near Mabson, Snell's Crossroads, in all of these areas, you need to at least be inside and watching the weather very, very intently, because this does have a tornado possible tag. Again, it doesn't mean anything is forming at the moment, but it does have that possibility. So I'm going to see if our hand tracker is back up and working. See if I'm going to step back on the green screen. Let's see if things are back up and running. Yes. So in this area over here, where we're seeing at least some rotation, there's a severe thunderstorm warning for areas of Dale County, Coffee County, you're in it right now, and also Henry County, moving to the east-northeast at 55 miles per hour. So again, looking right now, again, the rotation looks a little bit better, not in a good way, which means that rotation seems a little bit weaker. Now further out, we could see maybe it tightened up here and there, and that will prompt the tornado warning. But that's why they have a tornado possible tag. They're seeing maybe some broad rotation here and there, but moving generally to the east-northeast at around 55 miles per hour. And Tatiana, if you can tell me, what time does this severe thunderstorm warning expire?
Give me 1 second. It says until 1:45 p.m.
So until 1:45. So you have the severe thunderstorm warning until 1:45, and we're also watching at least some other areas as these cells begin to merge. We're also going to look near areas of Sampson and near Enterprise. We like to watch for these little areas that we could see maybe some small rotation here and there. Maybe some small rotation ongoing around Highway 54. Again, we're going to watch for certain areas like that. But the biggest threat is that tornado possible tag further up as we go to our north in Henry County, also in areas of Dale County. It's about to enter your area right now. So if you're near Ayrton, you're near Ozark, and you go further out to your east along areas of Skipperville, Artuga, Bearsfield Crossroads, Bells Crossroads, near Mabson and Dill, you're going to be under this severe weather threat in this particular line, bringing 60 mile per hour winds, and also this particular line that's moving to the east-northeast at 55. So what I'm going to do is we're going to track this out. This is moving at the east-northeast at about 55 miles per hour. So we're going to kind of give you some of the areas that you need to look out for. So if you're in Dillard, be here in about 4 minutes. If you're near Barnes, around 110, near Asbury, near around 118, and near Bells Crossroads around 125. So this is moving fairly fast. 55 miles per hour, that's just a little bit below interstate speed. So this is a fast moving system. It does have a tornado possible tag on it, which means that we're looking for the potential of rotation, but again, nothing that is very strong at the moment. So that's our main area of concern. It looks like we have another severe thunderstorm warning. What does that say, Tatiana?
Coffee, Dale, and Geneva. Okay,
so Coffee, Dale, and Geneva. So they just got a 52-knot gust in Florala, which is about 58 miles per hour. We're going to see if this one does not have a tornado possible tag on it, but it does have 60-mile-per-hour winds. So we're having a few severe thunderstorm warnings across the area, and our severe thunderstorm warnings are now encompassing most of our counties: Henry County, Geneva County, Houston County, at least the panhandle of Houston County, and areas of Coffee County. Remember, I told you this area right here and also this area further down to the south we're watching. Now, the area further up to our north, in northern areas of Dale County, including Ozark and Abbeville, that has the tornado possible tag. Now, further to our south near Enterprise, this one does not have the tornado possible tag going into areas of Geneva and the panhandle of Houston County. And Tatiana, if you can let me know one more thing, how fast is this storm moving?
Yes, give me 1 second.
And it's moving, at least the one up north, I know that one is moving around 55 miles per hour. I want to see if the one further down south is moving just a little bit slower or if it's moving any faster.
So it is moving east at 35 miles per hour.
Okay, so we have two storms. One is moving at 55 miles per hour. The other one is moving at 35 miles per hour. So this one is moving much slower. This one is moving about 20 miles per hour slower. So if you're from Enterprise all the way down, let's go to Lockhart. And it's moving at about 35 miles per hour. So it'll be near areas near Central City around 107, near Fox Hill around 107, Keaton around 109, Chapel Hill at 109, and it will continue to move around 35 miles per hour. So this one is more of a slow moving system. So we're gonna have to watch. And then also another thing I like to watch is these cells that kind of merge in, because sometimes that will cause a brief spin up here and there. I'm gonna go up back to this particular storm near Ayrton to see if we're still seeing at least some type of rotation at the moment. The rotation has broadened out, which is fairly good. Again, maybe some broad rotation here and there, a little bit further up to our north, but shear has dropped.
Question on Facebook Live, they want to know about New Brockton. They're seeing a lot of rain, so.
If you're in New Brockton, you're actually if you're in New Brockton, you're just south of that severe thunderstorm warning near Highway 84. I'm gonna switch back to our radar. You are seeing some heavy rain right now, but your severe weather threat will be ending fairly soon, but you're right in it. You're right under that severe thunderstorm warning. If you're in areas of North New Brockton, you're technically not under one. If you're in Southern New Brockton, just to the south near Highway 84 and Highway 122, you're under that severe thunderstorm warning. You're probably seeing some heavy rain and also some frequent lightning. I'm gonna see if I have lightning tracker on. So there's some lightning associated with some of these storms and also some broad rotation here and there. Going back to some shear, there's still some shear right on the border between near Phillips Crossroads, excuse me. So that's one area that we're watching right now, and see if that corresponds with at least some of our storm relative velocity values. Again, some broad rotation ongoing in that particular area, and maybe even a little bit south along Highway 123. And also, again, 60-mile-per-hour winds. So we're gonna go further down to your south and just show you guys what's going on in areas of the Wiregrass. So this is fairly close to the radar. This is along the line of storms, and we're seeing wind gusts 58, 59, 60, and this is what we're gonna look at least for the next couple of, at least the next 30 to 45 minutes as these storms continue to move. One storm moving around 35 miles per hour, the other storm moving around 55 miles per hour to the east-northeast. What you got, Tatiana?
So a lot of people are asking about Headland as well. Are they in that tornado tag? And they're seeing high winds in Coffee Springs, power outage as well.
Okay, so we're starting to get some power outages. Okay, so that means that the winds are whipping around 60 miles per hour. Another thing is, if you're asking about particularly Headland, is Headland within that severe thunderstorm warning with the tornado possible tag? If I'm not mistaken, Headland is not. Headland is not under that severe thunderstorm warning. So if you're in Henry County, if you're near Newville, Headland, and you're not under that severe thunderstorm warning, near Gansey, Okie Grove, Hardwickburg, Miller, Barnes, Browns Crossroad, you're not under that severe thunderstorm warning. If you're further up to your north, if you're near Abbeville, if you're going up to near Lawrenceville, Edwin, if you're further up also near Otho, Scottsboro Crossroads, Coates, you're under that severe thunderstorm warning at the moment with the tornado possible tag. If you're near Ozark, that's a severe thunderstorm warning with the tornado possible tag. Ayrton, all of these areas that I'm currently mentioning, even as you go into areas of Coffee County, if you're near Java, near Tabernacle, that's the severe thunderstorm warning with the tornado possible tag. Now, if you're going a little bit further down to your south, if you're near Enterprise, you're near Daleville, you're in Newton, you're near Clayhatchie, you're in Kinston, this is your regular severe thunderstorm warning without the tornado possible tag. We're just not seeing as much rotation, at least at the moment, maybe some weaker rotation near Enterprise, but again, nothing really strong. You can see the strongest rotation is in areas with that tornado possible tag, right over here near Phillips Crossroads. Now, if you're further down to your south, the rotation is there, but it's very, very weak, at least at this moment. And that can very well change, but we're not seeing the rotation like we're seeing further up to your north. Getting a question about Elba. Elba, you're pretty much in the all clear. I'm going to give some all clears right now. So if you're further up to your north and you're in areas near, Elba, your severe weather threat is pretty much over. If you're in areas of northwestern Coffee County, your severe weather threat is currently over. So you're in the all clear if you're in areas near Elba, if you're near Brantley, if you're along areas of Highway 87 north of Elba. But if you're pretty much anywhere near New Brockton, further out to your east, and things are coming to an end in New Brockton, you're still under that severe weather threat. And also, it looks like they issued another special weather statement in areas near Columbus. So the line of storms are finally making its way through, and we're getting more severe thunderstorm warnings. Now, one thing that I am watching is near Enterprise. Seems like we're seeing a little bit more rotation in this particular area. I'm going to see at least if that is true. I'm going to circle this area right here and see if we're seeing any rotation with storm relative velocity. Not too much at the moment, but maybe let's see if we're seeing at least any weak shear at the moment. So some weak shear ongoing further down to the south, maybe a small little inflow notch. So something that we're watching for. But overall, the storm with the biggest tornado threat with that tornado possible tag is further up to our north in areas over here. And we're going to watch actually this little area potentially. I'm going to see if that's a merger or if that's maybe a little bit more shear developing in that area. It looks like the strongest of the shear is further out over here. So again, just watching for little areas of rotation like that. And as that happens, we could see, like I said, a brief spin up here or there. Again, not a guarantee, but that's something that we like to watch for, especially in these areas where you have a line of storms pushing through. Sometimes you'll get a brief spin up here or there, and sometimes the tornado could last maybe even 30 seconds to a minute, and then they will pick back up very, very fast. So it's just little things that we watch for in this particular line of storms. But again, the main threat is 60-mile-per-hour winds. I don't want you guys to take your attention off that, because 60-mile-per-hour winds are nothing to sneeze at. But we're just watching for smaller areas of rotation, at least at the moment. And also, let's not forget about our friends in Geneva County. If you're near Sampson, you're about to start seeing at least some heavy rain. You're probably seeing some strong winds if you're near Coffee Springs as well. And further out to the west, you're near Clayhatchie. That's some other areas that we're looking at.
Some people in the chat are asking what to expect in Kinsey as well as in Abbeville.
So if you're in Kinsey and Abbeville, if you're in Abbeville, you're still under that severe thunderstorm warning. And that severe thunderstorm warning, it's still in effect all the way, if I'm not mistaken, until 1:45. So since it's under effect until 1:45, you're probably going to expect the worst of your severe weather probably within the next 30 to 45 minutes. But what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to track this storm, because this storm is actually moving a little bit faster. It's moving at 55 miles per hour. So I can give you more of an exact time frame if you live in Abbeville. It's going to be in Abbeville potentially a little bit later. So if you know areas near around 118, also near Lawrenceville at 129. So that means it'll probably be around Abbeville around the 1:30 to maybe 1:35 time frame. That's the main area that we're looking at least for if you're in areas near Abbeville. Now, you also said Kinsey, Tatiana?
Yes, and also they're asking about Webb as well.
So if you're in Kinsey, we still have a while. These storms are moving to around 35 miles per hour at the moment. And if you're near Webb, we're here at WDHN. We're still probably with storms moving around 35 miles per hour, we probably have a good 45 minutes to an hour. So Tatiana, if you want to take over for a second, we're currently still on Links 1, and just tell people about this severe thunderstorm warning, what we're watching. And I'm going to watch the chat for any new updates and anything that we're currently seeing at the moment.
Okay, so keeping track of these storms, like we said earlier, we're not really seeing a whole lot here in Webb or at least in Houston County. At least north of us, we are seeing some of these stronger storms, and we are tracking this. So near Enterprise, if I can kind of zoom in a little bit, let's see.
And also, when I did get a new update from the National Weather Service is that they are upgrading our severe thunderstorm warning and bringing a tornado possible tag to it. So if you can click the Dothan tab,
Gotcha.
for me, and then go to also where it says storm relative velocity, SR velocity. So if you can scroll out for me, I'm trying to look for something real quick. And then maybe switch to the regular velocity as well. Click on the Dothan tab and then go to velocity. So not seeing anything right now. And last thing, if you can click shear for me. There we go. We're starting to see some increase in shear. If you can kind of zoom in near Enterprise, Tatiana, for me.
Gotcha.
It seems like we're starting to see an increase in shear near Gerald and near Chateau Court. And that is why they upgraded to a tornado possible tag. So that's something that we might need to watch out for, just for the time being.
Yeah, so we are seeing this severe thunderstorm warning. It does say it expires at 1:45. So a lot of these storms are moving pretty quickly. If I go back to Dothan, let's see if it lets me go to the radar. Let's see.
And let me see if I can get back to the radar for you. If you can step off the screen for 1 second, I can see if maybe I can get back to the radar for you and see what's going on. Because we're getting constant updates from the National Weather Service. And it seems like this notch potentially right here near Enterprise, this is what I'm watching right over here. Between Enterprise and Daleville, it does seem like we're seeing strong rotation. And let's switch to storms. At least some weaker velocity signatures, but something that we need to look at least right here. So if we continue to at least see some updates, it looks like this is the one that has the tornado possible tag. And then we're still gonna look at for our friends up there further up north. Still some stronger shear, at least in this area, but this one looks a little bit more isolated. And we're gonna go by the scans. The scans keep getting pretty strong. So if you're near Daleville, I want you to watch this closely. I'm gonna step back on the screen. If we get any updates, Tatiana, if we get a tornado warning, please let me know. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go through and I'm gonna show you some of the areas where we're seeing at least some rotation. And we're looking at the Daleville area currently, near level plains in Daleville. The thing I'm looking for right now, we're seeing inflow this way and we're seeing outflow coming out this way. And when you see that, that could be a sign of maybe some rotation. And when you look at the shear, we have some strong to maybe close to very strong shear near Gerald. So if you're in that area near Daleville, I want you to watch this very closely. I want you to get away from your windows. Again, this is a tornado possible tag, so not necessarily a guarantee, but also starting to see a little bit some rotation even near Daleville. And another thing I'm gonna look at to see, no debris signature, maybe a light signature right to the north of level plains. I'm gonna ask the National Weather Service about that to maybe see if we have, maybe if I can confirm that. But if you're near Gerald, I think if you're near Gerald and level plains, it does seem like a tornado could be developing just north of level plains. And I'm gonna confirm that with the National Weather Service. So I want you guys to get in your safe space if you're near Gerald or Daleville. Particularly if you're in Daleville right now, it's moving to around 35 miles per hour. So I'm gonna zoom out right here, but it does seem like potentially, again, not necessarily a guarantee, but just something I'm looking at because we do need to be careful because you can see a brief spin up here and there. So we're watching that very closely if you're near Daleville and also near Gerald. We're gonna switch back, maybe some little rotation right over here, and we're gonna switch back to storm relative velocity. Let's see how the shear is looking. So it's still pretty strong. So something that we're looking out for very, very closely, at least at the moment. So if you're in this area, like I said, I'll recommend that you at least get away from windows something that we're watching very, very closely. Again, we're waiting on word from the National Weather Service, but it does seem like we're seeing a little bit of inflow at the moment. And if I'm not mistaken, Tatiana, you said it's moving around 35 miles per hour, correct?
Yes.
That bottom one. And it does have a tornado possible tag. So we're going to see how that shapes up, at least over the next couple of minutes. If we do get a warning, I will let you guys know. We will promptly cut into TV. But something that I'm looking for, again, you do see that inflow notch right over there, just near Daleville, near Gerald and Bowden Trace. And if you're near the area, if you do hear winds picking up, please let us know. Again, maybe some small rotation here and there, but it does look like it did broaden out. So that is good news. Let's see if the shear is weakened. It's still fairly strong right over Daleville. So something that we're watching. Again, not a guarantee, but we do see at least some inflow ongoing near the Daleville area, moving to the north of Clayhatchee. I did see a comment about Clayhatchee. Right now, it doesn't seem like that's where the strongest rotation is, but something that we're looking for at least at the moment. But currently, we're still under that tornado possible tag, and let's not forget about our friends up here. Let's see if we see any rotation over here. Again, some rotation along the line, but what I'm watching for is this rotation is a little bit stronger and it's a little bit more isolated. When you see isolated rotation, it's easier for something to, it's easier to kind of detect where if something could form. I am seeing comments of that what just came through level plains was no joke. And again, we're confirming things with the National Weather Service again, but that's something that we're at least looking for and not seeing anything at the moment. But one thing I did want to see, one thing I did potentially see is right over here. You kind of see this slight little drop off. And I'm curious to see if maybe we did have a brief spin up right over there. And it seemed like they drop off pretty fast. But again, something that we're just watching. It does have that tornado possible tag. And it could have been just some brief, a brief rotation. I do see another comment, level plains just had something so strong it blew my fence down. So that's something we're trying to confirm at the moment. But there is that tornado possible tag. So we can't rule that out. If you're in the level plains area and if you're also near Gerald, please let us know. If you can safely take pictures after the storm, let us know. But it's very well that we did potentially maybe see some brief rotation, at least at that moment, that could have made its way to the ground. Now I'm watching also areas near Ozark, right over here, seeing also some strong rotation. Let's look at velocity. It's really close to the radar, but not seeing anything at the moment. But if you do have any reports, please let us know, or please let the National Weather Service know as well, because these do have tornado possible tags, so we can't rule out a brief spin up here and there. I'm getting I'm also getting reports of damage potentially in Flat Creek. If you can let me know exactly where Flat Creek is, what county in Alabama. So damage near Flat Creek, Alabama. So we're starting to get at least some small damage reports here and there across areas of the Wiregrass. Again, watching still another inflow notch potentially right over here. So small little areas that we're looking for, and let's see if that shear kind of lines up still. So we still have a pocket of shear further over here and also in these areas along the line. So something that we're watching for. But again, that severe thunderstorm warning is still in effect until 1:45. It looks like the storm might have slowed down a little bit. So we're going to see if they extend this a little bit longer, because I don't quite think the worst of the weather is going to get to your area at 1:45 in Abbeville. It could be slowing down just a little bit or lining up with the storm in areas along the one that was moving around 35 miles per hour. But just to watch this strong pocket of shear in this particular area near Newton in Daleville, that's what we're seeing the strongest of the shear at the moment. It's a little bit displaced. Now, Fort Rucker, I'm getting comments about Fort Rucker. It seems like the worst of the weather is currently in your area. The rotation is a little bit further down to your south, but it's currently moving around 35 miles per hour. So the winds are whipping. Again, 60 mile per hour winds, this is probably what you're seeing right now. But again, we are seeing at least some broad rotation at the moment in this particular area. Right as it entered near Enterprise, it weakened, and then it broadened, then it weakened, and now it's broadening again. And it does seem like it's trying to make its way across areas, at least of the tri-state region. So again, not a tornado warning, but something that we will watch very, very, very intently as it makes its way through. I'm not getting any more questions. I do see something about flying trampolines, fences down, and back in playgrounds of neighbors missing. So if you can let me know exactly where that location is at the moment, and we did, now there is a tornado warning further down to our south in areas of Holmes and Walton County. So there is a new tornado warning, not for our area, but for Holmes and Walton County near Defuniak Springs. Seeing that high winds pass near the Nissan dealer around on the 84 road. So watching, so some strong winds are making its way across areas of the Wiregrass at this moment. So these storms are going to continue to move. Again, 35 miles per hour. There is a tornado warning further down to our south. Not currently seeing any tornado warnings across the Wiregrass, but definitely some tornado possible tags and seeing some damage reports. If you can send those damage reports to news@WDHN, that will be absolutely great. We can also send those off to the National Weather Service. So watching these storms near Coffee Springs, near Geneva, you're still under that severe thunderstorm warning. Tornado warning further down to our south. You can see this has more of a defined hook right near Defuniak Springs, and we're going to switch to Panama City's radar briefly. And Tatiana, if we get any updates from the National Weather Service, please let me know.
Okay.
But near Panama City's radar, we're going to switch, and yeah, that's a stronger velocity signature right over there, moving looks like to the east-southeast near Defuniak Springs. So if you're in that area, it would be very wise if you take cover. And in the Dothan area, not seeing anything strong at the moment, but again, just watching a few areas of rotation. Particularly, looks like that area near Enterprise has finally dropped, which is absolutely great. So it looks like that area of rotation has dipped off just a little bit, but still watching maybe a few notches here and there, but the rotation is fairly broad. So that's good news. Now, the main thing that we're watching now as it exits this region to see is maybe if it goes out to the east and they extend this warning into areas of Houston County, and will that area also have a tornado possible tag? So that's the main thing that we're looking for. Again, if we, if you can ask any questions. Now we're also seeing, we did have a report this is from our EMA director in Coffee County. They just received a report from a gentleman claiming his property was struck by a tornado, went en route to take a look, and so there is some damages, but they do have multiple trees down across the county, also near the Battens community. So what I'm gonna do, and if you can take over for me, Tatiana, I'm gonna talk to the National Weather Service as well, because we did see the potential of maybe a brief spin up, and something that I mentioned a little bit earlier with that brief rotation, possibly a brief spin up happening in Coffee County.
Okay, like Jordan did say earlier, at least near Daleville, we are seeing some stronger rotation. As you can see, we do have this main line of storms, and we can expect seeing some of the some conditions maybe at least in the next 30 minutes in our area here in Dothan. But we're still keeping an eye on this, keeping track of everything as well. Damaging winds are definitely possible at this time. Even down in near Defuniak Springs, we can expect some conditions as well. I know Jordan did say some areas in Florida are seeing at least some warnings. See if I can take a closer look, zoom in a bit. So we're really just keeping an eye on that as well. No tornado warnings, at least at the moment, are watches that we are looking at. But we're expected to see some strong to severe storms as well. Those damaging winds could be up to about 60 miles per hour. And we could possibly see some effects. Hopefully not really seeing a whole lot of debris. Let's see if I could pull this up. not really seeing a whole lot, but we can expect seeing some strong and severe storms ahead as well. So taking a look, we can expect those temperatures to also drop later on for our day. So we did see temperatures in those 70s, but once we get this cold front kind of coming through after we get some storms, this is where we see temperatures drop almost about 40 degrees. So even heading into our nighttime and even early morning, we can expect to see temperatures possibly in those upper 20s, near 29, and we can expect to stay cold for the remainder of our week as well. Temperatures will be in those 40s, so we definitely have a cold week ahead of us with this strong cold front coming through after seeing some strong to severe storms for our day. We don't really expect this to clear up maybe until later on this evening, possibly about 6 o'clock this evening. We could see some things kind of clear up for us when it comes to seeing some storms or whatnot, but we're definitely keeping an eye on any possibility for tornadoes as well. So keeping a track, looking at this radar, like I said, we're not seeing a whole lot here in Dothan just yet. Let's see if I can zoom down.
So it looks like we're about to receive a tornado warning very, very soon, potentially, according to the National Weather Service. I'm going to confirm that with them, but this is potentially due to some of the damage reports that we did see. But again, we're asking the National Weather Service if you can step off the screen for me, Tatiana.
Yes.
We are getting some damage reports at the moment, and we did also see that we had some reports of maybe something near Flat Creek outbound. And so if we get an update from the National Weather Service further down to the south, looks like they have a confirmed tornado warning further down to our south, but not for the Wiregrass at this moment, but something that we're watching as of right now. So we do have a tornado confirmed further down to our south, not for the Wiregrass, but for near Defuniak Springs. But we did want to confirm that we do have damage reports now in areas of Geneva County. So I know my mic was off. If you guys did not hear me the first time, we do have damage reports in areas of Geneva County and also Dale County and also near the Level Plains area. So that could be very well 60-mile-per-hour winds. If we continue to get any more updates, we'll let you know. But there is a tornado warned storm further down to our south, and it's a radar confirmed tornado. I'm actually going to show you guys this on radar right near Defuniak Springs. So if you know anybody in Defuniak Springs near Ponce de Leon, get in your safe space as we speak. I know we had somebody comment about that. There's also some pretty strong shear associated with it near the Center Ridge region, and we're going to switch to velocity right over here. So we are getting some damage reports, at least in areas of our neck of the woods, but we're going to focus on this area near Defuniak Springs. Looks like a tightening rotation. Right over here, there's a tornado on the ground just to the north of Defuniak Springs. And let's see if there's some type of debris signature, at least at the moment. So there could have been a brief debris signature, but it is radar confirmed, a radar confirmed tornado further down to the south. Also, we're starting to get more pictures in from the national, from people around the Wiregrass, showing that we have seen maybe some damage in areas near Dale County of a sign blown over. So maybe a brief spin up, something that we can't technically share as of right now. But we are, if you're in Daleville or if you're in areas near Dale County, if there's some damage in your area, please send that to news@WDHN. You're almost in the all clear. Some of this could be straight line wind damage because, again, winds of 60 miles per hour isn't necessarily weak, not weak at all. You have some very strong winds moving through areas of Abbeville or near Abbeville, about to get into areas near Newville. If you're in Echo, which is right on top of where our radar site is, you're probably seeing some strong winds and some heavy rain. So getting some damage reports across areas of the Wiregrass. Again, if you have any damage reports, send that to news@WDHN at the moment. And we're also looking at, let's look at areas near Midland City potentially, maybe some strong pockets of shear right there. So we're looking at a couple of areas across the Wiregrass for potential of maybe some brief spin ups here and there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn on our Facebook comments and see if you guys have any questions. I do see wind is picking up in Cottonwood. Cottonwood, you're fine as of right now, but they have extended our severe thunderstorm warning now to include areas of the Wiregrass. We're going to get that very, very soon, and it does have a tornado possible tag. I'm going to read this information to you as we get it, and it should pop up on our screen any moment. A severe thunderstorm warning moving east at 45 miles per hour with winds up to 60 miles per hour. And this includes areas of Dothan, Hartford, Midland City, Taylor, Webb, Newton, Columbia, Pinkert, Malvern, and Rehoboth. Now remain on alert for a possible tornado because it does have a tornado possible tag. And so something that we also need to look out for. And like I said, we're probably going to get that new warning box at any given moment. It does have a tornado possible tag. So again, I'm going to step back on the green screen. If you are in Dale County, and I did get a question about New Brockton, you are now pretty much in the all clear when it comes to severe weather. Our severe weather threat has now transferred into areas pretty much of Ozark, and there goes our new severe thunderstorm warning further. And this is the severe thunderstorm warning all the way up until 2:30. So for the next hour, that has that tornado possible tag. There's a confirmed tornado further down to our south, but watching for rotation anywhere within this area until 2:30, excuse me. So if you're in areas of Grimes, Dothan, Malvern, Slocum, Hartford, we're watching these areas. Newville, Abbeville, because you're included in this new warning as well. It just overlaps. We're watching for 60-mile-per-hour winds is the main threat, but it does have a tornado possible tag, which means a tornado could develop potentially along this line. So we're going to look at our storm relative velocity and see if we see at least any indications of rotation. And we're not looking at any at the moment, but one thing I love to look at is shear. And again, one thing that you see is there's pockets of shear along the line. Again, nothing guaranteed. It looks like they just issued a new severe thunderstorm warning further down to the south, including southern areas of Houston County. And I'm going to see, Tatiana, does that one have a tornado possible tag as well? Looks like they just issued a new severe thunderstorm warning that includes southern areas of the Wiregrass and much of Florida.
So right now I'm seeing Geneva, Holmes, Houston, Jackson, Walton, and Washington.
And let me see, does this one, so it does have a tornado possible tag. We do have another report of tree damage near County Road 428 in southwest Coffee County. So we definitely seen some strong winds in Coffee County. We do need to, we're going to see if we can confirm if maybe that was a brief spin up, because I did see something on the radar that maybe was indicative of some rotation that briefly touched down. But again, it was not confirmed by the National Weather Service because it might have not been strong enough. But again, these spin ups are very, 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 very brief. So that's something that I just picked up. But again, if you have any damage reports in Dale County, if you can get those in safely, that would be absolutely awesome. Again, wait till after the storm moves through. You might be in the all clear, but it's still raining outside. And I don't want you guys to get wet either. But again, we're seeing the severe thunderstorm warning for southern areas of Houston County lasting until 2:30, and also for northern areas of Houston County until 2:30 as well. And this includes Henry County and Early County. And all of these areas have the tornado possible tag, which means the possibility of a brief spin up cannot be ruled out at this moment. So again, moving to the east, if I'm not mistaken, at 45 or 55 miles per hour. I'm not going to continue to look at that and see how fast is that storm moving, Tatiana. Looks like it's moving east at 55 miles per hour right over here, at least the southern half of the line. The northern half of the line, we're seeing it is moving at around 45 miles per hour. So it seems like the southern half of the line is moving a little bit faster than the northern half. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to zoom into another area that it looks like I'm seeing lightning pick up near Geneva County, right over here. I want to zoom into this area. Sometimes you see lightning pickup, and I see maybe some inflow near Hartford. We're going to look at that. Let's see if we have some shear. We have some broad shear around this area, so we're looking at certain areas that maybe could have some brief rotation here and there. Again, not seeing anything that is strong at the moment, but these are the small things that you look out for just in case, because a brief spin up is possible, and we have had some damage reports in areas of Coffee in Geneva County. This line of storms are going to continue to move through Houston County. They're just moving into our region, into the panhandle of Houston County just now. If you're near Grimes, if you're along Highway 84, near Brandon Stand, it hasn't moved into your area just quite yet, but it's moving to your area as we speak. But I'm watching this area right over here. This one has my attention right over here. Just watching that particular area at the moment to see if we can get some rotation up there. And also, let's see if I'm going to go further up north. And then also there's some strong lines near Abbeville, but the one that has my main attention is probably over here, and also the one near Geneva County. This one looks a little bit more mature of a cell. At least it has some of those kinks in the line near areas of further down to your south. If I'm not mistaken, that is near Holmes County and also near Geneva County. So, like I said, a brief spin up is possible within any of these cells, and this is until 2:30 p.m. or 3:30 Eastern if you're in Early County. Again, along this line, there's some type of rotation, but again, all of this is not making it to the ground, but this is why the National Weather Service has issued that tornado possible tag. I want you guys to just stay away from windows if you can, and continue to watch us here at WDHN. If you have any storm reports, feel free to send it to news@WDHN so we can get that on air. And also it helps the National Weather Service out, because what they do is they go out and they get surveys, and these surveys help determine whether the damage report you've seen was maybe a potential tornado, or was it something like straight line wind damage, because we can still see wind damage up to 60 miles per hour, and that could also cause some problems here and there. So we're going to continue to look at some things, and we're also seeing some more reports of trees down near into Funiac Springs. So it looks like they canceled a few severe thunderstorm warnings as well, especially to the ones near Enterprise. So I can give you guys a few more all clears. Looks like they're going to chop down these warnings in areas of Coffee County. I'm going to circle this area right here. So it seems like if you're in this area, if you're near Ozark, you're in the all clear as well. But if you're in Henry County, you're in Houston County, you're in Eastern Geneva County, if you're in Slocum, if you're in Cottonwood, you're in Blakely, you're in Kinsey, you're in Webb, you're in Columbia, you're in Damascus, you are not out of the neck of the woods, at least right now, for severe weather. So it's very important that you guys stay safe and stay weather aware. I just said Ozark is in the clear. I'm looking for, I know I'm getting some questions about areas near Funiac Springs. I'm going to switch to Panama City's radar. What we're going to do is we're going to look at it and show you guys what's going on down there. So we do have some rotation, definitely within that area, some stronger rotation, 2 areas of rotation, matter of fact. And let's see where we have an area of rotation right here and also over here. So it's past the Funiac Springs area, but as of right now, that is a radar confirmed tornado. So that's the type of stuff that you still need to go into your safe space, especially in this area right here. That's where I see more of an inflow notch, probably where the most danger is at the moment. But yeah, that's a radar confirmed tornado. Further up to your north, we're going to switch back to Dothan's radar so I can give you guys a clear picture of what's going on over here. We do have some storms moving through the area. We're not seeing at least any super strong rotation further up north. But this line of storms right here moving through areas of Brandon Stand, near Grimes, and near eastern portions of Houston County do have some rotation, but again, nothing tightening up at the moment, which is great. You don't want to see any areas of rotation that begins to tighten up. The only area that could see, at least based off what I'm seeing, is some medium to broad rotation is this small little area right here, and maybe some broad rotation ongoing in areas near Slocum. And what I like to do is you like to cross-reference yourself. You want to see if that kind of matches up of what you're seeing. So, like I said, it does have a tornado possible tag for a reason. Not getting any new updates at the moment, but if we get any new updates, or if you do have any damage reports, please let us know at this time. But currently, not seeing a lot of lightning either. So these storms are just moving into areas near Dothan and also near Headland. So you're about to see some strong winds push through the area. And that's another thing I want to focus on. Everything is not necessarily just hinged on the tornado threat. We're going to see strong winds regardless of this storm. So you could see wind gusts up to 60 miles per hour. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how strong some of these winds are. Near Slocum, we're seeing wind gusts maybe 38, but you go further down to your south and watching this area near Esto. Matter of fact, this has just caught my attention right over here to see if that is maybe a potential area of some strong rotation.
Jordan, we're seeing they're issuing a tornado warning for Geneva and Houston County.
That makes sense. Right over here near Esto probably makes sense. That's what I'm seeing, and it just lit up right over here. We're watching that strong area of rotation. Now a tornado warning. If you guys can cut in on air, if you're upstairs, cut in on air. We do have a tornado warning now for areas of Geneva County and going into Houston County. Now this includes areas of Slocum, Malvern, and also southern areas near Cottonwood, and it includes just to the south of the circle. So if you're on the south side of Dothan, you still need to watch this. So I'm going to zoom in, and I'm going to give you guys all the details that you know. There's a strong area of rotation right over here, just near Esto. What I was looking at along County Road 105 near Mitchell Road. And if you're just in, we have a tornado warning near Geneva County, going into areas of Houston County. So a strong area of rotation right over here, near just to the north of Esto along Highway 157 near County Road 105. And now moving further out to the east, I'm going to give you guys a new radar update near Azalea Road. You need to be in your safe space as you speak. One thing I'm going to look out for is to see if we see a correlation coefficient, if we see a potential debris ball. That could be maybe a debris signature. If you can go into the National Weather Service chat, Tatiana, and see if there's a potential debris signature that is popping up on the radar, because that might be one in Geneva County. And they might get this one radar confirmed based off what we're seeing. Based off what we're seeing, this might be a radar confirmed tornado. And this hole right here is kind of concerning me. Right over here. Let's see if that matches up where we're seeing rotation. Yes. So if you're further out, and we just cut in on air, there's a tornado warning for Geneva County and Houston County near Azalea Road, East County 4, Rocky Road, Grant Road. You need to be in your safe space right now. There is strong rotation ongoing in this area, and it's moving. It's moving fairly fast. If you're near Fayette, you need to be in your safe space. If you're near Madrid, you need to be in your safe space and watching this closely. It's continuing to move to the east. And we're going to get some more information on this. Again, not necessarily confirmed, but a radar confirmed tornado and a potential tornado is ongoing across the region. So I'm going to get some more information. It says that a severe thunderstorm producing a tornado, capable of producing a tornado, was located near Hartford. It is currently moving east at 50 miles per hour. Now, if you're in areas of southeastern Geneva County and southeastern Houston County, I need you to get in your safe space. And we're going to see if this will become radar confirmed. Now, other locations that can be impacted: Pansy, Rehoboth, Lovetown, Avon, Dundee, Wilson's Mill, Kelly's Crossroads, Fayette, Garrett's Crossroads. There's a potential of a tornado that could potentially go on the ground at any second. Again, if you're near the south of Slocum, we're looking right here. We're seeing this rotation, and this can produce a tornado at any second. If not, it's on the ground already. So Fayette, you're going to get right over this area of rotation. It is very, very important that you guys get into your safe space. We're trying to see if this is a correlation coefficient drop-off. If that's the case, this could become a radar confirmed tornado, but it does look like we're starting to see maybe the potential of some tornadic development across areas of the Wiregrass with this tornado that is radar indicated. You kind of see that notch, see that hook echo right over here, and that's inflow and outflow going into the storm. It's going to move its way into areas of Houston County. If you're near Rehoboth and Cottonwood and Ashford, you need to watch this. This is moving to the east at around, if I'm not mistaken, 45 to 50 miles per hour. So this is very important that you guys are in your safe space at this moment, especially if you're near Rocky Road, Post Oak Road, Azalea Road, and going into Fayette. I cannot urge you enough, especially if you're near Fayette, that you guys need to get into your safe space as soon as possible, as this rotation could get even stronger. We're going to continue to check for constant updates. I do have meteorologist Tatiana Washington in studio with me, giving me updates as we are in contact with the National Weather Service. It does seem like that shear has dropped off, at least that rotation, but still some broad rotation ongoing further up to our north, again, near Fayette. you're near Post Oak Road. Still some rotation ongoing at the moment. Our shear is still on the stronger side. Some strong shear near South County Road, moving into Fayette. Now after that, Southern Junction, Garrett's Crossroads, Big Creek, Hodgesville, Merritt's Crossroads. You have a potential tornado that can be touching down within your area at any second. Again, we're seeing this rotation right over here. You don't want to see that red and green touching. It's not necessarily radar confirmed, but it's radar indicated, which means a tornado can drop in that area at any moment. We were under a severe thunderstorm warning with a tornado possible tag, which is something that we expected. It means that a tornado could have formed, and right now we're under a tornado warning. So that tornado possible tag is further up to our north, which means you're not under a tornado warning. But here, if you're in Geneva County and southern Houston County, you're currently under a tornado warning with the possibility of a tornado that can drop down at any second. And again, not necessarily seeing a debris signature, maybe one further up to our north near Malvern. Again, that could be maybe some radar fluff, but again, just watching that. But we're starting to see that inflow, and that's the thing that worries me. We're starting to see inflow right here and also outflow. So that shows that there is some rotation, at least some strong rotation ongoing near areas near Fayette. We're gonna continue to monitor this situation, and Tatiana's gonna continue to give me updates. And we're still seeing that rotation, and it's very, very south. We do see some rotation down here. We also see some rotation up here near Fayette. I think this is the main area of rotation that they're watching, but with these storms, sometimes they can develop a secondary area of rotation further down to the south. So we're gonna watch out for this, and if we get any updates from the National Weather Service, we're gonna continue to keep you guys updated. And if you're near Rehoboth, I need you to watch this closely. If you're in Madrid, I need you to watch this closely, because there's multiple pockets of rotation within this warning. Right here to the south, if you're near this area right here, and further down near Geneva County, just to the south of Malvern and north of Fayette near Merritt's Crossroads. So multiple pockets of rotation that could spin up and produce a brief tornado, and that's one thing you don't want to do. There's more rotation I'm seeing further right here. There's a rotation right here, and there's rotation right here. So as we continue to get updates, these are the two areas that I'm watching. We're going to continue to see velocity scans across the region. But again, this is until for at least the next 45 minutes to an hour, there's a tornado warning for areas of Geneva County until 2:15, Geneva and Houston County. We're going to see if they extend this further out, because this is until 2:15. Do you have any new information, Tatiana, with the National Weather Service?
No new information, but we do have pictures of just some trees that have fallen. But yeah, so we can see that this will expire, I think, 2:15. So this tornado warning will be up until 2:15.
Okay, so we do have that tornado warning in effect up until 2:15. I am starting to see at least some semblance of good news. The rotation has broadened out a little bit, but I don't want anybody to let their guard down, because this rotation could very well be tightening back up near Fayette. That's something I'm realizing right now. Right over here, I'm going to draw that. This is where you need to be in your safe space in this particular area. I've been screaming, Fayette, you need to get in your safe space at any moment. Hughes Road, it's entering Fayette right now near Grant Road, East County Road 4, Ewell Road, David Road, South Park Road, areas near Southern Junction, Dean Road along Highway 109. There's a potential tornado that can drop at any moment, if not already on the ground, as shear begins to pick up right near Fayette. Again, this is moving to the east at around 45 miles per hour. You don't want to be caught in a tornado. I want you guys to get in your safe space and get into your safe space as soon as possible. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you guys where to go for your tornado safety. As a tornado is on the ground, you need to go to the most interior room of your home, such as a hallway, a closet, or a bathroom, anywhere that is currently away from windows. I want you guys to stay safe and stay weather aware, because there is the potential of a tornado that can drop at any moment, and there's a lot of rotation ongoing across areas near Fayette. So right over here, and also I want to go further up to the north. There's also a pocket of rotation right over here. What you got, Tatiana?
There's another tornado warning in Holmes and Washington County down south.
Okay, so there's a new tornado warning further downstream for areas to the south of us. I'm going to focus a little bit further up to our north, back to areas near Fayette. We're still seeing some strong rotation right over here, some strong to broad rotation near and just to the south of Fayette. If you're near Madrid and Cottonwood, I want you to watch this closely as well, just in case this rotation continues to hold up and it drops a brief tornado. So if you're in Cottonwood, I'll be watching this closely. Also, we'll be watching an area of rotation near Merritt's Crossroads very closely as well. Again, brief spin-ups can happen anywhere along this line. I'm pretty sure we're getting another update based off the alarms that are going off. What update do you have, Tatiana? I'm pretty sure.
It's saying National Weather Service issued a tornado warning until 2:30. Take shelter in the basement and interior rooms.
So there's a confirmed tornado on the ground now, confirmed by the National Weather Service, now in Dothan, on its way to areas just to the north of Webb. I see it right over here. Possibly a correlation coefficient right over here near Kinsey. A tornado is on the ground just to the north of Webb. And if you're in areas of Webb, near Calvert, near Ashford, you need to get in your safe space. If you're near Willie Raley Road, if you're near Gilly Mill Road, if you're near Pleasant Hills, near Sigma. Also, I'm going to see if that's a potential correlation coefficient further up near Headland. Again, not anything that I'm seeing, but the main area I'm seeing is right over here, just near Kinsey, County Road 20. There's a confirmed tornado on the ground, and this is why the alarm just went off at the station. This is also near Headland. We're going to focus more on this one. This is a confirmed tornado in areas of the Wiregrass in Houston County, and this could be entering areas of Henry County very, very soon. So we're going to continue to get more information right over here. And it looks like that debris, let's see if that debris signature is still there. We have a tornado that is currently on the ground. We're getting information. This is near areas of Kinsey. This is right on top of Willie Raley Road, near East County Road 22, near Truman Road, near Pleasant Hills. I want you guys to get in your safe space right now. This is really not the time to play because there's a confirmed tornado on the ground at this moment. I'm going to switch back to our storm relative velocity. You see that rotation right over here. I want you guys to get in your safe space because there is a tornado confirmed on the ground headed towards Pleasant Plains. If you're in a mobile home, unfortunately, I told you guys to not go into a mobile home because the tornado could drop at any moment. We were focused on one tornado warning, and then in that tornado possible tag, we see another brief spin up. And this is what I'm talking about. This is why I tell you guys to get into your safe space, because we have very strong rotation near Pleasant Plains. If you're in Pleasant Plains, you need to get in your safe space right now. There's a tornado on the ground near Truman Road, again, near Willie Raley Road, near Center Church Road, County Road 38. You need to get in your safe space. If you're near Sigma, get into your safe space. We're at the station in Webb. This tornado is just to the north of us. If you're near Pleasant Plains, you need to get in your safe space. Williams, get in your safe space because there's a tornado on the ground, a confirmed tornado. When you see this purple box, the difference between this purple box and this red box is the difference between a radar tornado, that's radar indicated, and one that is confirmed to be potentially on the ground. We're getting more updates. Now we're seeing phones going off in the studio. I see that looks like a potential maybe debris ball right down here. We're gonna check on that, but we're getting more information from the National Weather Service. What do you got for me, Tatiana? Is there anything new?
It's really saying just tornado warning to take action. Make sure you're taking shelter at this time. It's been indicated by the weather radar as well, so making sure that just everybody is taking shelter right now.
Okay, so it's very important. They're confirming that this tornado is on the ground. We're going to switch back to storm relative velocity. It is right on top of Randall Wade Road, near Center Church Road, near Pleasant Plains. I've been screaming Pleasant Plains. Get in your safe space right now. There's a confirmed tornado on the ground, and it's going to continue to move basically to the east. If you're near Columbia, I want you guys to get in your safe space. But this is the area that you need to be watching. Pleasant Plains, near Sigma, Williams. Please get in your safe space. I cannot urge you enough. Center Church Road, North County Road 55, Pleasant Plains Road. If you're near East County Road, further up to your north, near County Road 38, these tornadoes, they can sometimes move erratically. Even if you're a little bit to the south near Sigma, you need to get in your safe space. We're starting to see that shear is fairly strong across the region, but also we're seeing a debris signature, and that's right there. I'm going to show you. I'm going to circle it. Right where you see this yellowish orange, that's a debris signature. That's indicating that we're seeing rotation in something that is abnormal across areas of Houston County. So we're going to watch that closely. Another area I'm watching potentially, take a look south of Dothan, because there could be maybe something right there. But again, we're going to focus on that radar confirmed tornado. I am seeing at least that storm relative velocity does show right over here, that confirmed tornado. But areas of Dothan, you're fine right now. The main area of focus is areas east of Dothan, further near Pleasant Plains, near Sigma, and near North County Road 55. That is the area that we need to watch intently, especially if you're near Sigma, as this area of rotation is going to move right over your radar confirmed and a confirmed tornado based off of radar. And also, you still see that debris signature right over Pleasant Plains. And this is going to continue to move in this general direction. If I'm not mistaken, Tatiana, where is it moving? Is it moving, I'm assuming, to the east?
Yes, it's moving east.
It is moving to the east. How fast?
Let's see.
Because it's right on top of Pleasant Plains right now.
It is moving east at 35 miles per hour.
At 35?
Yes.
So it's moving to the east at 35 miles per hour. We're going to continue to track this. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to track this out for if you're near Pleasant Plains. We might not get it out to 35, but if you're near Hilton, Sigma, Williams, near Columbia, you need to get in your safe space. There's a tornado that is potentially on the ground, and it's a radar confirmed tornado. So it is a tornado that is on the ground, and it's moving to the east at 35 miles per hour. So I want you guys to get in your safe space as we speak. You can hear the rain picking up at the station, and it's moving at 35 miles per hour. Tatiana Washington has a little bit more information for us. What you got,
Yeah,
Tatiana?
a lot of people are asking if they're located in Webb, what should they do at this time?
If you're located in the Webb, the rotation is just ahead of you, but I still want you guys to stay in your safe space because it is raining. Our station is out here in the Webb. I don't know if you can hear, it is raining very heavily, and you're still along the line if you're deeper in the Webb, close to the Pierce and Seminole Heights. Now, if you're further out to the west, you're still on the edge of that tornado warning. So just wait until that tornado warning expires. I want you guys to rather be safe than sorry, even though the main rotation is ahead of you. Still, I want you guys to stay in your safe space until that warning is dropped. I'm going to continue to go further out, and it seems like I heard a small little power flash. Hopefully we don't lose power, but again, Pleasant Plains near Sigma, it seems like that rotation has dropped a little bit further down to your south. So Sigma, I want you guys to take cover right now. Let's see if we're still seeing that debris signature. So that tornado is most likely still on the ground in areas of Pleasant Plains. That debris signature has not dropped. It has stayed on the ground. So that's a very telltale sign that we're still seeing a tornado that is making its way on the ground. It looks like it's moving to the east-southeast. So if you're in Sigma, I want you guys to please take cover at this moment. And if it continues to move to the east-southeast, it's going to be near Benton Store Road, potentially downtown Sigma, near Sigma Pit Road, near Benton Store Road, East County Road 22, near Williams. So there is a tornado on the ground. We have the debris signature. We see the rotation, and it's making its way in between Pleasant Plains, Sigma, and Williams, and everywhere in between. Again, Sigma Pit Road, East County Road 22. East County Road 22 further down to your south near P Market Road. You need to be in your safe space because a tornado is currently on the ground and it is moving at 35 miles per hour. You still see the rotation right over there, and it's a confirmed tornado. Now there's still a tornado warning further down to your south. We still can't ignore our friends in southern Houston County. But again, a confirmed tornado is currently on the ground near Pleasant Plains and Sigma. We're seeing that debris ball right over there. Now it looks like it has weakened a little bit, but let's not let our guard down. We still see that rotation on our storm relative velocity, and that's what we're looking at. Even though that debris signature has weakened a little bit, not a guarantee that that rotation has weakened. So radar confirmed tornado until 2:30 and for areas of Henry County and Houston County. Now, if you're in that Henry County area, that main rotation is to the south of you. Further up to your north, not seeing that rotation, but a brief spin up still can't be ruled out. But the confirmed tornado is right on top of Sigma as we speak. It's very important that you guys stay weather aware, and if you go to your safe space at this moment, because a tornado, a radar confirmed tornado, is on the ground in areas of Sigma. And we're still seeing at least a small debris signature making its way. Now, if we get another scan and that scan deepens, that will further confirm that that tornado is still on the ground, because it seems like it's moving over at least the near downtown Sigma area. So we're going to continue to check on this debris detector, because this is going to be a telltale sign of what's currently ongoing across areas of Houston County. You do see that very strong rotation. And let's go into the areas next in line. Again, Williams, near Jesse Road, near East Highway 52. If you're along Highway 52, still seeing that rotation. That's still fairly strong. Now over just crossing Sigma. If you're near Jesse Road, get into your safe space right now. If you're along Highway 52, get into your safe space. If you're near Columbia, get into your safe space. Williams, get into your safe space, the most interior room of your home with no windows. If you have a basement, which many people in Southeast Alabama don't, go, but if you do, go into your basement at this moment. We do have a radar confirmed tornado on the ground. Let's see if we do get a new debris signature. And yes, it actually deepened. So that tornado is still on the ground. And it just crossed over near the downtown Sigma area. So I'm actually going to show this loop. This is over the last 15 minutes. You can see that tornado debris signature is still there in areas of Sigma. And now Early County is under that tornado warning. So this now extends into areas of Early County. I'm actually going to zoom out. So there's a new tornado warning for the same tornado. There's a confirmed tornado. Oh, there's another confirmed tornado, excuse me, a much larger tornado potentially in areas of Early County. So there's 2 tornadoes on the ground currently in areas of the Wiregrass. So you have one near Sigma and there's another one near the Blakely area. I need you guys to get into your safe space. We have 2 tornadoes on the ground right now, one right here and one right here. We have 2 confirmed tornadoes on the ground in areas of the Wiregrass. This is a very, very serious situation. So I want to go into areas of Early County. I want to talk about you guys for a minute. Let's go down over here. There's a confirmed tornado just near Brickyard Lane, and it seems like right over here. And let's see if we can still see that debris signature, a very large debris signature right over here. I'm actually going to go over the last 15 minutes. You can see it a little bit better. It became radar confirmed. You kind of see that blip right there. That's that confirmed tornado that is on the ground near Early County headed towards Blakely. So there's also another confirmed tornado on the ground in areas of Houston County. What you got, Tatiana?
So in Early County, it is moving east at 50 miles per hour.
So east at 50 miles per hour. So there's 2 tornadoes on the ground. Again, one right over here just crossing Sigma, now near Odom Road. And let's see if we still have a debris signature. There's still a debris signature right over here. So we have a tornado on the ground right over here and another tornado on the ground making its way into Blakely. If you're in Blakely, I want you guys to get in your safe space. Blakely is a more populated area. So get in your safe space right now if you're in Blakely. There's a confirmed tornado on the ground making its way into areas of Early County. It's near River Road. It's near Howard Landing Road. It's also near Union Road, near Grimsley Road. And it could make its way into areas of Blakely. Now, if you're in downtown Blakely, I want you guys to take shelter. This could miss you to the north, but I want you guys to be in your safe space. There could be potentially a tornado making its way very, very, very close to areas near Blakely. And we do have confirmation that there are multiple tornadoes on the ground, potentially across the Wiregrass, at least radar confirmed. So if you're in Houston County, and if you're in Early County, you need to get into your safe space. Again, I'm gonna go more on a street by street view for both tornado warned storms. So again, 2 radar confirmed tornado warnings. There's also a tornado warning for areas near Ashford, not radar confirmed. So we're gonna focus on the confirmed areas. If you're near Columbia, just going to Columbia, making its way into areas of Early County, it looks like you're about to get hit with this tornado that is currently on the ground. We still have very strong shear. We still have very strong rotation, and it still seems like we have that debris signature right over here. So we're gonna see. And also, there's also that tornado warning for areas of Early County. Now, it does seem like that rotation has dropped off, which is good news. Hopefully, that is just indication that it was a brief tornado. At least we don't see a debris signature, but what I'm gonna do is, and that debris signature is approaching Columbia. So I want you guys in Columbia, get into your safe space as I'm speaking as of right now. Now I'm gonna go back to our storm relative velocity. That rotation has broadened out near areas of Early County, which is absolutely great news. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go back because that tornado could spin back up. But if you're in Columbia, get into your safe space right now. If you're along Highway 52, if you're on West Church Road, if you're near Lizard Lope Road, near East Church Street, River Road, get into your safe space. Downtown Columbia, get into your safe space. North Davis Road, it's moving right on top of you as we speak. We see that rotation entering near downtown Columbia right now. Get into your safe space. Looks like they have extended potentially that they could extend this tornado warning even further out to the east Let's see if we still see that debris signature right on top of Columbia. Hopefully we don't. It does. It seems like that debris signature has gotten even stronger, and it's about to enter downtown Columbia. Hopefully, I hope this is at least some radar interference. But if this is true, and it does overlap with our rotation, and I just want to cross-reference, it does overlap with our rotation, that we could see a confirmed tornado entering downtown Columbia right now. Get into your safe space. I want you guys to be safe, and this could very well make its way into areas of Early County. Now, it does seem like they have extended another tornado warning into areas of Early County. Now, this isn't radar confirmed, so that could be indication that maybe we're seeing at least some radar interference when it comes to that, but still very strong rotation near Columbia. Still that radar confirmed, and they did keep it radar confirmed. They just changed it. So that tornado is still on the ground, making its way near Columbia. I was very, very curious about that. I'm glad that they continue to keep it on the radar confirmed. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to zoom back in. I'm going to, this is a confirmed tornado warning for areas. Now, if you're in the web, you're in the all clear. Now, that tornado is not impacting you, but if you're in downtown Columbia, you have a tornado that's headed your way. If you're near Hilton, going into areas of Early County, and there's a tornado crossing over that river, going into Hilton, going into Salhatchee, going into other areas of Early County, tornado warning, a confirmed tornado. So that means that tornado is on the ground. We have seen that rotation is right over Columbia, and I hope that people did adhere, because that debris signature, that went right over downtown Columbia. That is a huge correlation coefficient drop. That tornado just went right over downtown Columbia. This is a very dangerous situation. It is very important that you guys go inside, get to the lowest level, get to your safe space. I'm actually going to reiterate where you need to go right now, because this is a very dangerous situation. We're seeing a huge correlation coefficient drop off right in Columbia. That means that tornado could have went right over downtown Columbia. Hopefully people did remain safe. This is a very dangerous situation that is currently unfolding, as we're seeing tornadoes that has remained on the ground, at least in between Webb and Columbia, starting around Sigma. So this tornado has been on the ground for at least the last 10 to 20 minutes. So a very serious situation is unfolding, especially in areas near Columbia. Looks like that tornado has went right over Main Street, and that rotation doesn't seem like it's weakening. Matter of fact, seems like that rotation has been holding on just to the south of Columbia. And like I said, unfortunately, this is a very dangerous situation. I need everybody to remember, go into your safe space. Remember your tornado safety. The most interior room, such as a hallway, a closet, a bathroom. I've been saying even before the storms begin that we could have seen tornado warnings. And if you did have the potential to go somewhere that was not necessarily a trailer park, if you live in a mobile home, make sure that I was reiterating that you went to somewhere that at least had a very, very sturdy structure, and at least something that had a solid foundation. And this is the reason why, because we do have confirmed tornadoes on the ground. Looks like it just went over Columbia, and we're still seeing some rotation within that region, a confirmed tornado. And if we get any damage reports, we're going to continue to let you guys know here at WDHN. That debris signature, yeah, it's right over there, right near Old Columbia Road, making its way into Hilton. And let's see if that rotation is still over there. Yeah, still very strong rotation in this area along Georgia Highway 62. I'm actually going to go back out right here, Georgia Highway 62. And also watching maybe some rotation to the south of Ashford. But let's go at least to the most important matter at hand. Georgia Highway 62, Old Columbia Road, Georgia Highway 370, near Hilton, near Wilkie Mosley Road, near Damascus Hilton Road. You guys need to be in your safe space right now. There's a confirmed tornado headed your way. County Road 25, Rock Hill. There's a confirmed tornado that can be heading your way. The rotation has not really weakened up over the last 15 to 20 minutes. You can see that rotation, and it's still fairly strong at the moment. If anything, it has wrapped up even further. So get in your safe space. We're still seeing debris being lofted up in the air, and it has a very, very strong debris signature. I'm going to check with the National Weather Service to see if we have any more new information, because I believe there's probably a lot of information coming in, and that tornado debris signature just continues to keep on growing. It seems like that we're seeing reports of tree structure down further out to the west. But here, not getting reports, at least right now, in areas of Houston County and areas of Early County, but there was a tornado that did drop down and is still on the ground. Like I said, I really do hope that this is more of just radar interference, but it does match up with where the shear is lined up, and it does look like the shear has weakened, but also we're still seeing some rotation. So I do hope that things could be potentially winding down. But again, we'll rather be safe than sorry. It's still a radar confirmed tornado in areas of Hilton. If you're in Columbia, you're still under that tornado warning, but there's no confirmed tornado on the ground if you're in areas near Webb at the moment. But we're watching that storm that just crossed Columbia as a confirmed tornado, now moving into areas near Hilton. So we're going to watch this. It's going to continue to move to the east. Like I said, it looks like rotation has broadened up a little bit, but don't let that fool you. Sometimes these tornadoes can broaden out in rotation, then tighten up once again. So if you're near Steele Road, if you're near Cedar Springs Road, if you're further up to the north, I want you guys to get in your safe space immediately. But the good news is, at least as of now, based off the last few scans, it does look like that that rotation has broadened out at least just a little bit, or at least temporarily. And sometimes that temporary relief could be absolutely great. I hope everybody is safe in Columbia, but we're still, if you have any reports, please let me know. Like I said, this could be maybe radar interference, but at the same time, it did match up what we saw right over here as that storm went over downtown Columbia, and we did see that correlation coefficient drop. But hopefully, things are winding down again. We're gonna look, still that radar confirmed tornado, still getting your safe space near Hilton, near Salhatchee, and let's see where that rotation still is. It should be just near Hilton and near the Hilton area, and still seeing at least some backside rotation potentially near Columbia, but it seems like the main area of rotation is right over here where you see that red and green touching. Like I said, I'm actually going to step back because we're having some issues with our hand tracker at the moment. What I'm going to do is I'm going to zoom in and kind of show you guys exactly what's happening, and maybe a sliver of good news. Treat that this is still a confirmed tornado warning, and it looks like we have a new confirmed tornado warning for areas of Houston County just outside of Ashford. So another tornado warning for areas just to the south, a confirmed tornado warning. If you can get more information on that, Tatiana, there's a new confirmed tornado warning for areas of Houston County, Early County, a radar confirmed tornado. And this is for areas, there was a tornado producing storm located near Ashford, moving or 8 miles northeast of Cottonwood, moving east at 40 miles per hour. Hazard a damaging tornado. So there's another tornado on the ground. I can kind of see where that rotation is. Very strong shear. It's about to enter areas near Gordon. Tatiana, I want you to keep me updated as much as possible with any new information. There's a large debris ball right over here. And also, there's multiple tornadoes on the ground, so I'm going to be moving very, very quickly. Let's just take a look at where the strongest shear is at. The strongest shear currently is near Ashford, going in the way near Ardilla and Gordon. We're going to go by a street-by-street view. There's a tornado on the ground, potentially between Ardilla and Philadelphia, moving around 45 miles per hour. We're going to switch to storm relative velocity. You do see that rotation right over here, and that does overlap with the shear that we're seeing, and also a potential debris signature, a huge correlation coefficient drop-off. Now, this is the second, or if I'm not mistaken, third confirmed tornado in areas of Houston County. So this has been a very, very busy day across areas of the Wiregrass, but I want to keep you guys safe and weather aware. You see that inflow. If you're near Pansy, if you're near Ardilla, if you're near East Cook Road, you're near Gordon, Gordon Landing, Upper Gordon Landing, Philadelphia, get inside your safe space as we speak. I'm going to actually show you guys where to go. I'm going to show you this one more time. The most interior room. Go to the most interior room, such as a hallway, closet, or bathroom. There is a tornado on the ground, a confirmed tornado, and a damaging tornado, according to the National Weather Service, on its way, moving to the east-southeast, or moving to the east very fast at around 45 miles per hour. And this is moving near Ardilla, near Philadelphia, near Gordon. If you're in Gordon right now, get in your safe space. If you're on Highway 84, please get off the road. We're starting to see some damage reports. There are multiple tornadoes on the ground in areas of Houston County. Again, multiple tornadoes in Houston County ongoing, at least radar confirmed. A damaging tornado near Philadelphia Gordon, if you're near Alaga, if you're near Saffold, I need you to get in your safe space. Philadelphia, you have a damaging tornado with very strong shear. And even if you're along Highway 84, if you're near Gordon and also near Spring Hill, because you see, we're going to switch back to our storm relative velocity. We're going to pinpoint exactly where that tornado potentially is. So you see some of that right over here in areas of Delta. I'm actually going to switch to Panama City's radar, see if we can get a better view of what's going on, because it's a little bit further down to our south of what's going on across areas of Houston County. So again, if you're near Gordon, what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to follow this debris signature. So again, we're seeing at least some type of debris signature right over here near Gordon and further down to your south. But there's a potential of confirmed tornado, not only here, but further up to your north as well, also near areas of Blakely. We have multiple tornado warnings along this line of storms. And if you switch to the radar, it kind of tells you, you see that inflow right near Gordon. You need to get in your safe space. We're going to go to areas further up north where we're currently seeing. We're going to switch back to our storm relative velocity. Still near Blakely, there's also some rotation ongoing right there. So I need you to get in your safe space. If you're near Webb, I want to tell you, you're in the all clear, but our new attention turns into areas between Philadelphia and Gordon, and we're seeing that rotation in this area right over here. If you're near Cedar Springs, if you're near Saffold, if you're near Hammond, you need to get in your safe space as we speak. We're going to switch over to velocity. You still see it over there. And also, let's see if that shear also correlates right in that area. So get in your safe space right now. This is a confirmed tornado, a potentially damaging tornado, and we keep on seeing this correlation coefficient begin to drop off even further. So get in your safe space right now. There's also debris moving into areas near Alaga, near Gordon. Again, Philadelphia, I'm going to start calling off some roads very, very soon. If you're near Howard's Mill, if you're near Liberty, if you're near Gordon's Landing, Georgia Highway 370, Cedar Springs, you need to get in your safe space. It looks like this tornado is now beginning to move out of Houston County, but it's moving in this general direction. And again, we have multiple radar confirmed tornadoes that are on the ground, and we need to switch and talk about our friends in Early County as well, because that strong line of storms is moving their way as well. So again, this tornado is moving out of Houston County, but if you're near Gordon, you need to get in your safe space right now. If you're near Alaga, you need to get in your safe space right now along US Highway 84, South County Road 85, along Highway 12. But we're going to go further up to the north. We're going to go down the line. If you're further down, another confirmed tornado warning. Let's see if we still see any debris signatures at the moment. Not at the moment, but we're still looking at, let's take a look at our shear. More weaker shear, but again, we don't want to just go off of just one thing. We're seeing still some rotation, potentially right over here, and also some rotation. There's rotation all along these lines of storms. So that's the main thing that we're looking for, but it looks like our most pressing situation is in areas of Houston County. We're starting to see that shear maybe weaken a little bit, but still a confirmed tornado. And I like to go with these velocity signatures. We see that red and green wrapping up, and also the potential of some debris being lofted up in the air near the Gordon area. So get into your safe space right now. We have a tornado warning, and it's moving to the east-southeast along this line. If you're near Donaldsonville, I need you to get into your safe space. If you're near Georgia Highway 370, if you're near Saffold, it's about to cross into areas of Georgia. It's exiting Alabama, making its way into areas of Georgia, and I'm pretty sure they're going to cancel this confirmed tornado warning for Webb. But we're going to switch back to our radar, and let's see, do we have any new updates from the National Weather Service, Tatiana, based off of what we're seeing? Because we do have multiple tornado warnings on the ground. If you're near Blakely, I'm going to switch over to see our radar for you, how things are looking. Currently, we're going to look at the velocity, maybe some weak rotation still ongoing, but still watching maybe a little bit down here. We're going to switch to our regular velocity values and see what we're currently seeing. But the storm looks like it's becoming maybe a little bit more linear in nature, which is great news. I'm actually what I like to do is I like to replay things to kind of see if our rotation has potentially weakened. What's going on?
The tornado warning for Houston County has expired, so that is the only update as of right now.
Okay, that is great. I expected them to cancel that. The tornado warning for Houston County has expired. I'm assuming that is the one for Webb, but we're going to see once that drops off for our area. But still have a few radar confirmed tornadoes going from Houston County, again exiting Houston County on its way through Gordon and potentially entering areas of southwestern Georgia. Again, it looks like that shear has weakened a little bit, but still some rotation ongoing near Liberty, near Georgia Highway 370, near Gordon Landing, near Highway 12, near Cedar Springs, near Howard's Mill, near Dot Harvey Road, near also Side Camp Road, excuse me, if you're near Whitaker, if you're near Killarney, Jakin, C. Williams Road, and near Saffold. You need to get in your safe space. This general line of storms are continuing to move to the southeast in this general direction. So it's very, very important that you guys get in your safe space if you're in extreme southeastern Houston County and going into areas of southwest Georgia. And if you know anybody in Donaldsonville, tell them get into their safe space. Hopefully, it looks like at least some of that rotation is letting up, but I'm going to switch radars just to make sure, because we're getting away from Dothan's radar. I want to see if maybe I can switch to Tallahassee's radar to see if we can get a little bit more of a better profile of these approaching as these storms exit Houston County and still make its way into areas of Early County. So still seeing some rotation in areas of Gordon still right now. It's still a little bit far away. What I'm going to do is we're not seeing as much as what we saw earlier, which is great news. Still confirmed tornado, so treat this as a tornado warning, as that tornado is still potentially on the ground, as these are still in these purple boxes. Purple boxes indicate confirmed tornadoes. And this is until 2:45, and it's currently 2:25. Now, they haven't dropped anything at the moment, so there's still probably some rotation. If you're in Blakely, also still seeing some rotation, maybe a little bit down over here in Early County. It looks like the main rotation is exiting our area, which is good news. Hopefully, the rotation is weakened up. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to further go down to your south. It looks like the heaviest of the rotation has now exited Gordon and in this area, but now has crossed over into areas of Georgia. We're going to see if there's still maybe some indication of debris. Again, it could be radar interference, but we did have, when it wasn't, we did have a tornado debris signature. And hopefully now that has exited out. They have extended now into severe thunderstorm warnings. So that is a good sign that they haven't extended the tornado warnings. So hopefully this means that the tornadoes are gone, but still watching for maybe along this line of storms. Again, nothing matching up at the moment, but still treated as a tornado is potentially on the ground. Let's check the shear. Shear values have weakened considerably. But again, don't let your guard down, because shear values were very, very strong in Houston County. We got that radar confirmed tornado, and then it moved to the southwest, and it seems like it is weakening, but still don't let your guard down as of right now. It looks like they will expire for southeastern Henry and Houston counties. That tornado is expected to expire around 2:30. So for areas of Houston County, this area is going to expire at 2:30. They're going to let this warning expire, which is great news. So this is the warning that extended into areas of Houston County that included Webb. This is going to expire, but we're still watching the potential of tornadoes on the ground right over here in this particular area. We're still watching, not seeing, like I said, I'm not seeing as much rotation at the moment, but still treated as the tornadoes on the ground. It seems like the best rotation I saw was near the Gordon area, right over here. And it's exiting Gordon, and now it's entering areas near Howard's Mill, near Killarney, in areas like that. Now, further up to your north, I'm just not seeing as much rotation. I'm going to switch to other radars just to confirm, but I'm not seeing as much rotation as I once seen. Maybe some broad rotation near Blakely, but we're going to see. We're going to see, as the tornado could very well still be on the ground. We're going to switch back to radar, and anywhere within this line, if you're anywhere within this warning area, if you're near Cuba, near Damascus, if you're in areas further down south that are ahead of this line, still be prepared for the potential of maybe another, of potentially a tornado moving through. We still are seeing that storm move through areas of Gordon. We did see that rotation move through earlier, but still there's still a second round that's making its way through. Not seeing a lot of rotation with that, but also just checking our velocity values not seeing anything at the moment, but still, you like to watch and wait. You like to watch and wait just in case there's still any confirmation by the National Weather Service. And I like to switch to all these products just to see if we're still seeing any debris signatures at the moment. And I'm currently not seeing anything, but we're still going to look at what the National Weather Service has to say, and hopefully they can cancel some of these. It looks like they're expiring some more warnings. Are they expiring? They're expiring another tornado warning around 2:30. That's the one for Houston County. They're expiring our severe thunderstorm warning for Houston County. So now our attention turns into areas of Blakely. So if you're in Houston County, you're still dealing with this tornado warning, a confirmed tornado, radar confirmed, but again, it seems like things are weakening, but still, if you're near Olga, get into your safe space. If you're near Saffold, get into your safe space. Highway 12, get into your safe space. Philadelphia, Liberty, Cedar Springs, Howard's Mill, get into your safe space, as a tornado could be dropping at any moment, and it was confirmed. So a tornado could very well still be on the ground. I'm not currently seeing it on my radar at the moment, but at the same time, these tornadoes can spin up very quickly. If you're ahead of the line in areas further out, if you're near Damascus, get in your safe space. If you're near Cuba, near Hentown, near New Hope, near Centerville, near Old Damascus, near Crossroads, get into your safe space. This is still a radar confirmed tornado, and even anywhere ahead of this line, even in areas of Lucille, get into your safe space, as there still could be potentially producing a tornado that can potentially be produced on the ground. Now, they did issue just a regular tornado warning, which is a good sign. We're starting to see good signs. Remember, I said I was not seeing the rotation as much. It seems like in this confirmed tornado warning, they've issued now a regular tornado warning, which means that they're not seeing the rotation as much, but it can very well still produce a tornado maybe later on down the line. Again, shear values, now they have picked up a little bit further down to the south, but remember, I told you, like to check our velocity and maybe some other things. And when we checked the velocity, it didn't seem as impressive as what it was earlier. It was very impressive as it was entering near areas of Gordon, but still some broad rotation areas right there. And we're going to confirm to see if that matches with at least where our radar currently is, a little bit ahead of the radar. So again, not even confirmed really good rotation. So that's why they issued that tornado warning, not in the purple box, but this red box. That is indicating that it's no longer a confirmed tornado, but they're still watching for the potential of redevelopment. Now, this area near Blakely is still a confirmed tornado, so we're going to continue to watch this a little bit more intently. It looks like we're seeing stronger rotation right over here if you're near Georgia Highway, near Rowena, but let's see if that matches up with our radar. It does match up just ahead of the radar. Let's see if we still are seeing any debris. So that could still be debris. So if you're near areas of Nicholasville, near Old Damascus, near Rowena, make sure that you go into your safe space as it exits Early County. Near Nicholasville, that could very well still be some rotation on the ground. So we have to watch this whole line of storms. Still some strong rotation ongoing right there. So now it looks like they've issued a regular tornado warning as well within this box. I'm going to see if that's confirmed, because it looks a little bit odd. The polygon looks kind of odd. I'm trying to see, but still seeing rotation in that area. Not necessarily a confirmed tornado, but it seems like they issued maybe a new tornado warning for Early County. So now it is radar indicated and it's no longer radar confirmed. So that is great news. So everything that we've seen with our weakening shear, that doesn't mean get out your safe space. I want to reiterate that. Do not get out your safe space. You're still under a tornado warning, but it's no longer a confirmed tornado warning. It is radar indicated, which means that we're still seeing pockets of shear and maybe potential debris. Again, not radar confirmed, but a regular tornado warning. But the velocity somewhat matches up with maybe some rotation ongoing, some broad rotation, particularly near the Rowena area, near Douglasville, Nicholasville, moving fairly out to the east. For areas of Early County. Now, I'm going to start giving out some all clears. Here, all clears. If you're in Dothan, you're in the all clear. If you're in Slocum, if you're all of Henry County, you're in the all clear. The only place that's not currently in the all clear just yet is if you're near Saffold, Jenkins, if you're in extreme southeastern Houston County, if you're near Lucy, near Crosby. You're not in the new tornado warning, but you're not in the clear yet because you still are under a severe thunderstorm warning, and these severe thunderstorm warnings are for winds up to 60 miles per hour. Do you got any new information? I hear We're getting a lot of cancels and continues. Okay, so we're not getting anything new at the moment, but we are still seeing these radar indicated tornadoes. So they have at least dropped when it comes to the level. Usually if you see a purple box, that means that is a confirmed tornado. But you see these red boxes outlined inside. That means that there's no longer probably a confirmed tornado. They're going to let these expire around 2:45, and this one at 2:45 in Seminole County, but still watching for areas of rotation. So still treat this as there could be a tornado warning, as there could be a tornado that could drop on the ground at any moment, because we're still seeing rotation in areas further out, right over here along Highway 62. And also we're seeing rotation further down to your south. Not as much, but still some broad rotation in areas entering areas of Georgia, crossing into areas of Georgia at this moment. Not seeing a lot of rotation in areas of Houston County, maybe some small pockets, but it doesn't seem like some of these outline a little bit with the radar, but not as much as what we saw earlier. So hopefully things are winding down, but we did have things were ramped up really, really fast across areas of the Wiregrass. I'm going to go back in the last hour. We had a radar indicated tornado around 151. Then we had a confirmed tornado further up to our north, and that stayed on the ground and entered into areas of Blakely. Then we had another confirmed tornado. Then we had another confirmed tornado in eastern Houston County. And now it seems like this is finally starting to come to an end, but we're still going to remain on air until all tornado warnings have eventually expired. Now this is again until 2:45. So at least for the next 10 minutes. Now, if you did have any damage, it is very important that you guys send that to news@WDHN once things are safe. But Houston County, you're in the clear unless you're in the far southeastern corner of Houston County. I said southwestern, I meant southeastern Houston County. Now, if you're further out to, if you're in areas, like I said, near Lucy, you're not quite in the all clear yet. Actually, one thing that I'm looking for is maybe this little notch right over here, something that we might need to look out for. Looks like, let's see if shear picks that up. Maybe some light shear here and there, but again, these tornadoes spun up very, very, very quickly across the Wiregrass, and sometimes they come in at a moment's notice. What I'm going to do is I'm going to let meteorologist Tatiana Washington take over and kind of tell us what's going on a little bit down the line. We still have those tornado warnings, Tatiana, but it seems like they're probably going to let those expire within the next 10 minutes, hopefully. But if there's any new warnings, I will let you know. I'm also going to see if I can get some more information very, very soon of what's going on across areas of the Wiregrass, whether it's damage reports or anything else.
So we are expected to see some of these warnings as well expire at least in the next 10 minutes. So about 2:45, this is when it is expected to expire. But Jordan did mention a lot of areas that are exactly in the clear right now. I'm not really seeing a whole lot of at least effects from this warning. But at least if you are near Abbeville, even in Dothan, you could still be seeing some rain. But you could expect to at least be in the clear. But I do suggest to stay indoors. Don't try to drive at this time. Make sure that you are inside. And again, Jordan did say earlier, if you are in a mobile house, make sure that you're not in that mobile house. Make sure that you're somewhere very secure and staying off the roads during this time. It's very important to just stay aware and stay safe, especially with these warnings that are still here, at least for the next 10 minutes. So we're keeping track of that as well. If you are in Blakely, this is where we're seeing some of these stronger storms kind of occur for us, and where we're seeing some of these effects. So we did have those tornadoes confirmed as well, radar confirmed, and we're keeping track of that. But at least in the next 10 minutes, we could definitely be in the clear with these situations. Like I said, Dothan still seeing rain, even some areas near Headland. You could be in the clear at least for now. Kinsey as well, if you're over in Ozark and even near Newton, down in Slocum. Ashford is still seeing some conditions with some pretty heavy rain as well. And it's right outside of that box, as you see this purple box that will expire. But we're expected to just keep track of that, as well as in Cottonwood. You guys could be seeing some pretty heavy rain right about now. Rehoboth, you guys are in the clear. And winds did definitely pick up for some areas, at least 50, 60 miles per hour winds. we were tracking some of these tornadoes, and they were moving at least maybe east at 35 miles per hour and even more than that. So we're definitely keeping an eye on this as we go on throughout our look at our radar as well. So we're definitely getting a lot of heavy rain, and we don't really expect all of this to kind of clear up until later this afternoon or evening. At least by 6 o'clock, we could be all in the clear when it comes to these conditions, especially looking at this tornado warning. So things happen very quickly all at the same time, just kind of keeping track of these things, and it can be a lot, but like I said, although you might not be seeing a lot of heavy rain, just make sure you are staying indoors. We still have impacts that could be hazardous as well if you are on the road. Wet roads are possible, even with thunderstorms and lightning. So you do want to be inside, and this is what we're kind of keeping track of. In the next 10 minutes, we are expected these warnings to kind of let up, and then we can expect still rain for our day. Expected thunderstorms are expected, but at least we don't have to deal with any of the tornado warnings, and we can still keep track of that as well. So if I step off the green screen, I'm kind of going to go behind the desk and maybe look at some things that are on the National Weather Service, see if we have any updates. Currently don't really have too many updates. We did have some warnings that did expire, thankfully, but we're still keeping track of that tornado warning that is expected to expire at least by 2:45. So have about 5 minutes, but you definitely want to stay in the interior of your homes in a sturdy building. Avoiding windows is very important. If you are outdoors or in a mobile home or a vehicle, it's definitely not a good idea at this time. Flying debris is still possible. So a lot of people were saying reports, trees have fallen down, and it's very dangerous at this time to kind of be outside, I would say. So definitely stay indoors right about now. Also just taking shelter and just being aware. Let's see. We are seeing some warnings that have expired. Let's see, in Clay, this severe thunderstorm warning expired as well, but we are still seeing Early County, Houston, and we're expecting this to let up really soon, probably in the next 5 minutes. So this is great news for us. Still seeing a heavy rain is expected. And this is kind of where we're seeing a cluster of thunderstorms. It was capable of producing these tornadoes. Widespread and wind damage was expected. So really just stay indoors, make sure you're staying safe, not going outside because winds are still picking up. And yeah.
And it looks like I'm starting to get some new information. So based off the new information that we're receiving, there still are those tornado warnings, but they're going to let these confirmed tornado warnings expire at 2:45, which is great news. The storms are exiting our region, which is great, but there's still some storms that are capable of producing tornadoes exiting Early County. I know people were asking about Ashford. I know it's raining heavy in Ashford. You're in the all clear when it comes to severe weather. I know there were a lot of questions ongoing at one time, but we were tracking multiple tornadoes on the ground at one singular moment. So I want to give you guys somewhat of an update of what's going on. We did have a line of storms. These are confirmed tornado warnings, but these are about to expire. So currently there are no tornadoes on the ground. There still is a tornado warning for areas of Early County, but the main line of storms is moving ahead, exiting Early County. So I expect these warnings, especially these purple boxes, which are confirmed tornado warnings, these are going to expire within the next 3 minutes. Further out to your west, if you're in Dothan, you're in Geneva, you're in areas of Ozark, you're in Cottonwood, all of these areas in Houston County, unless you're in the far southwestern corner, you're still dealing with that potential tornado threat. And I still want you guys to be in your safe space, especially if you're in areas near Lucy, because they're still near that tornado warning. Again, it's a little bit chopped down, so now these storms are now exiting your region, but still stay in your safe space just in case if you're in the far southwestern portion, southeastern portion, excuse me, of Houston County, southeastern portion. Now, some stratiform rain is going to continue. So now anything behind here is not severe. This main line of storms is where the severe weather is at. It's now exiting our region. Now there still are some severe thunderstorm warnings that are ahead. 60-mile-per-hour winds. If you're anywhere in Early County, so if you're near Damascus, you're in the thick of it right now. If you're in Lucy and you're near Crosby, you're in the thick of it right now. But that is going to come to an end probably within the next 10 to 15 minutes. Dothan, Ashford, Rehoboth, Geneva, Slocum, Enterprise, Elba, anywhere in the Wiregrass that is pretty much east of Blakely. You are now in the clear with the exception of far southeastern Houston County. Anywhere else, you're dealing with heavy rain, but the bulk of the severe weather in the rotation is along this line of storms, and it's currently exiting our region. We're no longer under a severe thunderstorm warning in Geneva County, no longer in Coffee County, Covington County, or Henry County. Those severe thunderstorm warnings are now currently at an end. It seems like we're starting to get maybe a little bit more information. But overall, it looks like they maybe issued another tornado warning, but it's further down to our south near Bay County and near Washington County. That's closer to Panama City. But our severe weather threat is currently dwindling down. That is absolutely great news. But we did have multiple tornadoes enter the Wiregrass. We're going to actually go back about 2 hours ago. I told you guys, we have the potential, as I said, watch these cells as they merge. And we saw these cells begin to merge. We had our first tornado warning near Webb, just to the north. Then we had another tornado warning in areas near Slocum. So our first confirmed tornado warning just to the north of Webb. We had another tornado warning confirmed in areas of Early County as they extended some of those warnings, and you had a confirmed tornado further up to your north. A few minutes later, they extended another tornado warning. Then we had one more confirmed tornado warning. So at one point in time, we had three ongoing confirmed tornado warnings around 2:15 in areas of Houston County and Early County as they continue to exit the region. So there was a lot going on. But now the rotation is weakened. They've canceled these severe thunderstorm warnings. They have now exited our region. There's a small area near Mitchell and near Damascus where they're still under a tornado warning. We're going to continue to stay on air for that. This is until 3 p.m. Central. So we're going to be on air at least for the next 15 minutes. But there is some broad rotation. Again, nothing super strong at the moment, which is great news. We look for something that's not too strong. Again, some weak pockets of rotation. Exiting, again, clear thing, exiting Early County. Now, further out to the west, Blakely, you're in the all clear now. Gordon, you're in the all clear. Houston County, you are pretty much now in the all clear. You still probably got some heavy rain ongoing near Crosby and Lucy, but you're under a severe thunderstorm warning. Maybe some straight line tree line damage could be possible. Shear has weakened tremendously across the region. I'm actually going to show you how much the shear ramped up as we saw these tornado warnings. One tornado warning right here, another tornado warning, the shear ramped up even further. And then we saw shear values go up further in the areas of Blakely, and also that last little bit right here in areas near Gordon. So this is where we saw these confirmed tornadoes. So now as we exit, as these storms exit the region, things are beginning to calm down, which is absolutely great. We want you guys to stay safe and stay weather aware, but that's just some sense of relief of what's currently going on across areas of the Wiregrass. Things are now beginning to at least slowly go down, and things are beginning to calm down across areas of the Wiregrass. It's going to get very, very cold. And it's going to get very, very cold across areas of the Wiregrass. It's going to get super cold. We're going to see temperatures down in the 20s, and we're going to see rain chances eventually go down. So things are slowly winding down across areas of southeastern Alabama. Further out to your east and west, you still have that tornado threat, but now we're just transitioning into rain and still some severe weather in southern areas of the Panhandle. So we're going to continue to keep you guys safe and stay weather aware. But over the next 13 minutes, expect things to calm down in areas of Early County. And I expect this to be chopped off probably within the next 10 to 15 minutes for areas of the tri-state region. Now, we're going to have reporters everywhere getting information. And if you have any damage reports, make sure you send that to news@WDHN so you guys can stay safe and stay weather aware across the Wiregrass. There were multiple tornadoes on the ground at one time. So a very, very busy day. But sometimes these slight risks can produce tornadoes. And that's why we were posting on Facebook and posting on areas of posting in areas of Twitter, so you guys can stay weather aware, and also on our website. So things are finally coming to an end. You guys can at least now have a sigh of relief. If you were affected, again, I hope you guys stay in the mobile home. We're gonna get new reports soon, and we're gonna get any damage reports or any potential injuries soon. So again, any damage things that you have, send the news at WDHN. We can use that for the National Weather Service as well. But our threat is now diminishing across the region, and now our threat turns into the cold. One thing I want to show you is that after this storm moves through, we're going to get very, very cold, and I'm going to show you actually what's happening across areas of the country. We're going to move to our high-res temperatures. And temperatures are now dropping across areas of the Wiregrass. If you're in areas near Andalusia, temperatures drop to the 50s. You're in Ozark, you're in the 50s. But you're 73 if you're in the southeastern corner of Houston County. So temperatures are going to drop dramatically, and another thing that our attention will turn to is the extreme cold. I'm going to switch back to our radar, and I'm going to show you all the advisories that we're under. We are going to be under a cold weather advisory and an extreme cold watch across areas of the Wiregrass. And this is up until Tuesday at 10 a.m. So temperatures are going to drop dramatically. If I'm not mistaken, we're under a freeze warning for your night tonight. And meteorologist Tatiana Washington, she's going to break that all down at WDHN News at 5:30. So things are now finally coming to an end, which is absolutely great. So we're going to continue to stay on air until this warning expires in areas of Early County. But like I said, it doesn't seem like anything is happening as far as any tornadic activity when it comes to Early County. What I'm going to do is I'm actually going to switch to Tallahassee's radar to kind of get a better look, and we're still not seeing, at least the best rotation is now exiting Early County at the moment, and is now away from our viewing area. So we're seeing great news that things are finally coming to an end across areas of the Wiregrass. We're seeing reports of Hentown, Georgia without power. That makes sense because that, if I'm not mistaken, that was as you enter areas of southern Alabama going into areas of Early County, and also further down south, if I'm not mistaken, near Colquitt County and near Seminole County. So it's very well that a lot of people are without power. One thing I can do is I can actually check on that and see if anybody with power outages across areas of the Wiregrass, at least at this moment. So that's what we're looking at right now. We're looking at to see if anything else has changed, but as of right now, we're seeing things finally dwindling down and not seeing as much activity across the Wiregrass, as now that cold front has finally went through the area. Since that cold front has went through, now we're going to see at least cooler conditions across the Wiregrass. And yes, we do have reports of power outages. At least 10 to 20% of people are without power in areas of Geneva County. It looks like that's the area that has been hardest hit so far. But we're actually going to do this. Let's just see if we can do it potentially by number, because we do have a lot of people without power, at least at the moment, particularly in areas of Geneva County. So we're going to look at that. And as that happens, we're going to watch out to see if power outages go up, because expect that to go up at the moment, as we're still seeing rain and wind, and still we're going to see non-thunderstorm wind gusts. I'm actually going to show you something else. We're also under a wind advisory, guys, so it's going to be windy even throughout the rest of your day. It's not going to be, unfortunately, we're under a wind advisory, and I'm going to show you guys that right now. All of the Wiregrass is under a wind advisory until later on today. And this is mainly due to thunderstorm winds that are very, very strong. Non-thunderstorm winds, excuse me, that are very, very strong. And that is going to bring non-thunderstorm wind gusts up to 40 miles per hour. And this is until 5 p.m. So winds are still going to be fairly strong. It seems like I'm going to turn our warnings back on. The Seminole County warning did expire. I am getting questions about that. So yes, the Seminole County warning has now expired. Still seeing warnings in areas of Early County, which is expected to expire very, very soon. Would not surprise me if the National Weather Service cancels that at 3 p.m. Also, we're getting new information. They have now canceled our tornado watch. So our tornado watch is now canceled as well. So I'm going to give a big recap. I know this is a lot of colors. We're going to break down everything that's ongoing across the Wiregrass. We are seeing things come to an end. We still have this blue area. This is for our cold weather advisories and also our extreme cold watch. That tornado warning in Early County is now coming to an end. It looks like it's moving to areas now further out to our east. That main area of rotation is gone. Still some severe thunderstorm warnings, and if I'm not mistaken, that is until 3:30, but that is going to expire around 3:15 in Blakely. It would not surprise me if they drop that. And no more tornado watches. So tornado watches anywhere in southeast Alabama are currently gone. So no more tornado watches across areas of southeastern Alabama. So now that things are coming to an end, I want you guys to stay safe and stay weather aware. Like I said, once this warning expires in Early County, we're going to go off air, and we're going to get some stuff for WDHN News at 5:30, and we're going to get some stuff for WDHN News at 10 as well, to show you some of the damage that occurred, because we had a lot of damage occur in a small amount of time across the Wiregrass. And this is the thing about these winter storms, and at least some of these severe storms, is you can have winter weather in northern portions of the state, but then still have severe weather in southern portions of the state. But we made it through it all, and I know we did have lots of warnings, but now things are finally coming to an end. And I'm glad that you guys watched WDHN, and I'm glad that you guys stayed safe and stayed weather aware. But this is why I said it's very important that you guys stay inside, and also if you live in a mobile home, that you guys go somewhere that does not have a mobile home, that has a sturdy foundation, that is not a mobile home, at least for those few hours. Things are over by 3 p.m., but in that span of 30 minutes, we saw 3 confirmed tornado warnings. So there was a lot going on, and this is how the weather can just really change very, very quickly, especially out here in southeast Alabama. So again, they're gonna let this warning expire. We're gonna go off air around 3. And any updates, like I said, we're looking at the National Weather Service chat. And now Tallahassee's confirmed that they have begun trimming the western counties from the tornado watch, and they're gonna continue to cancel even more a little bit later on. So Coffee, Dale, Geneva, Henry, Holmes, Houston, Quitman, Randolph, and Walton County, your tornado watch has now been canceled. Early County, your tornado watch has not been canceled just quite yet, but as storms exit our area, expect things to eventually dwindle down. I am seeing that people are asking about Cowards. Cowards, you're fine. If you're anywhere, I'm gonna circle this area. If you're anywhere further out to your east, you are A-okay. Anywhere right over here, you are totally fine. You got a check mark. So you are totally fine when it comes to your severe weather threat. Things are now over. If you had any damage, it's somewhat safe to go outside. Make sure if you do have any wind damage or tornado damage, make sure you come out in closed-toe shoes, and make sure you watch out for power lines. And if you can't step outside, again, call the police. They will at least help deactivate some of those power lines, and at least call the people who are certified to necessarily do that. Updates for Ashford. Ashford is in the clear. Everywhere else is pretty much in the clear, and it seems like they're about to cancel that tornado warning any second across areas of Early County. So what we're going to do is we're going to hop off air, and we're going to also hop off of, we're going to briefly stay on Facebook Live until 3 p.m. So we're going to hop off regular television programming, then we're going to go back to Facebook Live, give you guys a recap, and then we're going to end this live because now the threat has now ended across the Wiregrass. We did see multiple tornadoes across the region, and if you can report that, send that to news@WDHN, any wind damage, and also we're going to send that to the National Weather Service so they can also give a proper assessment of what happened. Tune in to WDHN News at 5:30 and WDHN News at 10, as we're going to have reporters getting video and also reports of damage ongoing across the Wiregrass or that did occur. So I thank you guys for watching, and we're going to be on Facebook Live for the next 3 to 4 minutes until this warning in Early County expires, but your overall threat is over.